here. Oh, no.
No.
As long as you don't ask me this.
Okay, so hi, we're live from San Francisco. I'm Paul Whitehead at the world famous Mechanics Institute Chess Club, and I'm here with the new executive director, Kimberly Strafano. Did I pronounce your name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That was great.
And here we are, and we're live in front of the audience. We don't know how many people are out there right now, but this is so. Kimberly, you're the new executive director for the Mechanics Institute,
yes.
And so tell. So the Mechanics, for people out there who are just tuning us in about chess, the Mechanics Institute Chess Club is inside of an institution called the Mechanics Institute, and
right.
We're a library and events and cultural center, and we have a chess room director, but we also have an executive director who is the boss of the chess room director and can.
Right? I didn't say that.
I said it. Yeah, it's good for me to know. But and so Kimberly, tell us about yourself, a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to be here. The Mechanics Institute has been doing some amazing things, and particularly the Chess Club. It's very exciting tonight to see so many folks here. I come from a background of, I've worked in other nonprofits, and I've done a lot of education work, and particularly connecting youth to education. So, the chess program, and particularly the Scholastic chess program, is
right.
really exciting.
Yeah. It's we're heading out in that direction big time. Under Abel and Judah. Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm sure Abel will come in and talk a bit more about that. It's not my bailiwick. I don't know much about it. But,
right.
And you have a son who plays chess too?
I do. Yeah, Lucas. He just had chess camp. He's very excited, right,
That's
Lucky?
So cool. Maybe
he's nodding over here.
Yeah, he'll come over here and say hi, maybe if he wants to, and run the show. It's up to,
you want to say hi?
Lucas. Yeah, Lucas. I don't really know how many people are watching, but people join in and say something. This is Lucas, and he is been in our chess camp. And so, do you have anything, Lucas, you want to say about chess? And this is a great place. I came to the chess club when I was a kid and learned how to play chess here.
Yeah.
So this is a great place, I think, to play chess and learn how to play chess. Yeah. Come back. Bring your baby brother. Push him in the.
Maybe in a couple of years when he's not throwing the pieces, right?
Right. Yeah. So
great.
Yeah, this is a great place for kids and to learn how to play chess.
Yeah, absolutely.
So forth. So what were you doing before you came to the Mechanics Institute?
I was working for another nonprofit. I was working for Goodwill, and I was doing a lot of their programming, and in addition, a lot of their partnerships, and also for an organization called Caladad. And so really, looking to figure out how we can connect both, youth and also families to resources, both around helping them become self-sustaining, but also helping them sort of, further their education. So we did a lot of work with local community colleges and other schools, and also some cultural organizations, and we partnered with the Oakland Museum and a couple other places to give folks access to cultural activities.
Interesting, because when I think of Goodwill, I just think of a store.
Right.
So I don't
exactly.
really know all the things that Goodwill does.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to know that they have they have a wider reach than that, and like and also employing so many people.
Right.
It's very different than the mechanics. So
absolutely.
It seems to me like
Yeah.
we're in a different kind. So this is a different direction for you too.
Yeah.
New challenges.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I enjoy writing, and so that cultural piece, the other piece of mechanics. Oh my gosh, how could I know? There's so many good ones.
I know. I'm a big reader myself. I don't read just chess books.
Yeah.
I'm a big reader.
Right.
So,
yeah. Definitely.
That's one thing.
You just got to lower the volume.
Oh, we have to lower the volume.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're having too much fun.
Well, that he always comes in and tells me the same thing. Shh. Then I talk softly, and then I start yelling again. So, you're just new here at the Mechanics. I mean, what's a long-range goal for you here at the? I mean, for the the chess club, you're going to learn a lot about chess, and,
Right.
and like I can just tell you that since Abel's come along, there's been an explosion
Right.
into making the Mechanics Institute Chess Club a sort of a player in the world on the world stage. We
Right.
had some world-class players here recently, and now we're broadcasting to the world. Which
Right.
we have now, like we've had people talking to me from Brazil,
Wow.
and France and stuff like that. So this is a big step for us. We maybe play chess, play chess clubs in other countries.
Right. Right.
Sort of as it's happening. So that's what the chess club is doing.
Right, right.
Like, and I think we don't even know what the possibilities are.
Absolutely.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Suddenly, boom.
Right. Yeah, I think I think the Mechanics Institute is at a real transitional point. There's a lot of opportunity, I think. We can partner more. I mean, just looking at chess, there's a lot of opportunity to grow more and do more in that area. I think there's also an opportunity to tell more people about what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes folks don't realize the extent of what we do. They might think, oh, it's a chess program or it's a library, but not really realizing sort of, the breadth and depth of the cultural activities that we host here.
Right. And we're extending our reach, and for the good.
Yeah.
For
Right.
the good of chess, and for the good, hopefully, there's a lot of problems in the world.
Right,
and,
right.
And like, I see that we're located in downtown San Francisco, and there's just this turmoil going on around us.
Yeah.
And it's we'll see what happens, but I'd like
Right.
to think that we're doing something good in the world as
Right.
well. I think that's going to be going on.
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely.
I
No,
do.
definitely. I think there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity, and the city and this whole community has been changing. But I think there's definitely, a really big piece of what we can contribute and provide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, do you have any questions for me about chess or anything?
Are you gonna give me a lesson?
And by the way, you can have you're the executive director of the club. You come in and you can get a free lesson anytime.
Okay. So then maybe then I can beat Lucas. I'm not sure, but
it's
I'll try.
She can order a lesson.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Abel, do you want to come in and sit down? This is Abel Talamentes, who you've met before, the chess club director, and should I butt out or?
No, it's totally fine. No, it was just kind of exciting. It was really cool because, Kimberly came on, and then it was last week. I'm like, hey, what are you doing on Tuesday nights? It's like, why don't you stop by and check it out? Because, the Tuesday Night Marathon is kind of like the flagship event. But just, the energy is just, it's amazing with, so many people coming in on Tuesdays and with our, broadcasting of games. And, one of the things that we all take pride in is that we think that the broadcasting of games and interacting with kind of the fans and the community online through our club the way we're doing, we think this is going to set the tone for how other clubs are going to do it in the future. I think this is kind of the direction, so it's kind of nice to feel like we're kind of a part of something that's going to spread, because we've seen kind of the growth and the excitement that this is kind of brought on. So it's nice. It made me happy that you came down and kind of checked it out, because it's important. This is kind of an important part of the Mechanics Institute.
Absolutely.
And I was excited that you're excited about chess, and I know you have children that play chess, and so no, thank you for coming down, because I know it's out of your way on a Tuesday night, but it's cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's great to see so many folks, and there's a lot of energy, even though it's pretty quiet. You can tell there's a lot of energy in that room.
It's serious. It's serious energy.
Yes, exactly.
It's scary. Yeah, that's why I hide out in here. I'm like, I can comment, but I don't have to get in there and mix it up.
Right.
But then even we talked about our scholastic events on the weekends. It's a lot of fun because that's something that's growing here.
Right.
And talking to the parents, and and it's a half day. It's like from 10 to 2. So it's kind of a fun, positive thing to do on a Saturday.
Absolutely.
So it's just exciting, all this stuff that we're doing. But I'm curious, kind of, what has it been like for you to kind of come into this? Because there are many facets of what the Mechanics Institute is. And so you came in and they said, oh yeah, by the way, there happens to be a chess room there that's world famous. You know, what do you think of that?
Right. No, I think it's amazing. I mean, I really think, one of the reasons that I was so excited about mechanics is because they do all these different things. And they all are sort of cultural activities, but really, different communities, different, really targeting different folks who are interested. And so I love the sort of breadth of activities that are going on, from the readings to the writing classes, all the things in the library, and the chess program, I think it's really unique. I don't think we're the oldest chess program, but I also think there's not a lot of folks who are doing what you're doing. So I want to say that, that's really exciting. Yeah,
and then, even for me, because I'll be here like on any given Friday, and then there'll be a writer's workshop going on, and so then I'll walk in there and it's like there's so many different things that happen here. And then there was one Friday, with Laura, I was doing I got to see a movie and and enjoy pizza. And so it's just really exciting.
And we should have been working, but we were watching women's soccer finals.
That's right. But that itself is a cultural phenomenon.
Absolutely.
That cannot be ignored. But thanks for taking the time and coming down.
No, absolutely. This has been wonderful.
It's been fun showing you around.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had Joyce Carol Oates was here in the chess room. There's a photograph of her in the chess room.
That's great.
And she
was she playing?
She wasn't playing, but she was thinking about writing her next novel set in a chess environment.
Oh, that's great.
And she thought it was an amazing place where the rich and the poor could meet, and one of the only places that the rich and the poor could meet, and on equal ground, so to speak.
Right.
Actually, one of the players who helped with our Scholastic tournament, Erica Malikan, she's actually playing out in the room. Mm-hmm. I was talking to her a little bit about the chess history in San Francisco because traditionally there used to be a gathering on Market Street in Fifth and Market.
Right.
That was pretty famous. They even made a little short documentary about it. But I was asking her about it, and she was talking. She used to play there as like a teenager and even younger.
Yeah.
And I said, "What is it about that vibe that kind of made it special?" And it's just, and she said, those are her words. It's like whether you were rich, poor, young or old.
Right.
You can just go there and you get a game.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And you play, and you're all sort of on equal footing for that moment in that time. So.
Yeah, that's what I love about mechanics. I mean, it seems like there's such a diversity of our membership and the folks who participate in both, in chess as well as the other programs. It's really been.
And then for me, just coming here where there's so many departments to help out. So Jessica does a lot of help in terms of raising money and kind of getting our word out into the community. Just have the multiple departments sort of working together. It's kind of fun. It's kind of nice. Just to have support. So, but no, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
on the show.
definitely. Thank you. Thank you
We'll
so
see much
much.
Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Come back and what I'm going to do after you guys leave is just start talking about the chess games that are going on in there, and making fun of them. That's what I do. I make fun of them.
You're gonna heckle them as they play.
Yeah,
It's
it's a lot of fun.
Nice meeting you.
All right, see you guys.
All right, bye. Thank you. Bye.
All right, see you later.
Okay.
It's okay if you hang out a little.
Absolutely. Wait.
We have what's this over here? This is wrong, man.
We're gonna have a little break right now. Give us a minute. We'll be
We're
back.
taking a little break.
Boom.
Okay, yeah. Okay, folks, we're back. And we're going to be looking at some chess games here.
Just as a note, so we have a visitor from England that they came here to visit the world famous Mechanics Institute Chess Club.
Okay.
And so they're hanging around. So we'll bring them in like 10 minutes or so.
That sounds great. I still need, come over here, One-Eye, because I need some help over here. I need, where are the DGT boards? Oh, this is cut off.
How do I get that? Oh, there it is. Oh.
Let him do first.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay. We're just doing, also it looks like it got cut off on the side here. I'm not sure what that's about. We're experiencing a little bit of technical issues.
It's how it looks always.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Learning
okay. Okay.
experience. Learning experience.
So we're good. Okay. Okay, folks. The final rounds, round 8 of the Tuesday Night Marathon. I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. I'll be joined by whoever at different times during this broadcast. Chess room director Abel Talamentes, who's right here with the baseball cap on.
And I'm showcasing the Susan Polgar tournament hat that I got.
Oh,
Place shameless plug.
hi Daniel. And
Daniel
hi
Perlov.
from Florida.
Actually, Daniel Perlov.
Hey Abel.
Hey, let me
Okay.
respond.
I'm going to start looking at some chess games if that's okay. Whoa.
Oh, we're fighting for the mouse over here.
Are we fighting for the mouse?
Yeah, let me
Hey,
do this.
How come we fight for the mouse? We shouldn't. You don't have to, you can just say hi. You don't have to type anything back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I have a message.
Okay. Everybody's going to see it though.
That's true. I'll just leave it at hey.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Okay. So let's look at the games here. On board 1, we have. I'm going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to start our thing here. These are the 2 tournament leaders with how many points out of 7?
I think it's 5.5 out of 7.
5.5 out of 7. Each one of these guys, they're leading the tournament. Let's play it off. Lee versus Griffith, and it's a Nahdorf.
You ready?
Folks.
Okay, so we'll say 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure if this is a novelty or not. Starts out as a Sozin Sicilian, and now White plays G4.
We don't have a book on that.
Oh yeah, let's get the chess clock going for that. Okay, now you know you're in a chess club. Let me put Abel's name here.
Well, the thing that's exciting for me is that it seems like they're playing to win because we weren't sure if they were going to try to maybe do a quick draw. And
These guys, neither of these guys are chickens.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're there to take it and win. And whoever wins this game would get the sole first.
Clear first, yeah. And I'm sure if I'm White and Andy Lee, I'm going to be playing, and he's going right for it. And Conor Griffith has turned out to be a bit of an expert in the Nahdorf.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this? I'm assuming this is like theory and.
You got me. And now Andy is having a think. And I think this might be his first think here. And so Black is pursuing a kind of a dark square strategy. White could go back with the bishop. White could play rook g1 maybe here, or just simply bishop takes bishop. But Black looks well placed, and this is a kind of strategy.
But if White takes the bishop, doesn't that leave the dark squares like
Yeah.
f4 kind of?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it's anybody's game. Let's go on to the next one. I'm not going to pass. Okay. This is a battle for maybe first place, right, or second place, right? These guys, International Master Elliot Winslow versus Mr. Tuesday Night Special.
Tuesday night comeback.
The comeback kid, playing. He's white against FIDE Master Ezra Chambers.
And we say that because the last TNM, and I think the last two, Elliot has won the final round to share
first
place. Yeah,
he's so good at that. It's crazy. I mean, if Andy Lee draw and Kyron draw and Elliot wins, he's going to have a share of first place.
Yeah.
And that's the most likely result, considering everything. Here we have another Nahdorf, except for Elliot chooses a more positional approach with Bishop E2. And I'm surprised because Elliot used to play Bishop G5 all the time. So Bishop E2 is not really, I'm not used to seeing Elliot play this. And this is a pretty topical sort of line here. Or, a treatment by white to play this way. Well, another game where it could be anybody's game. On third board.
So when that other player's done, I'll let you know, so then it'll come.
Okay. Yeah.
A really important question. Do you have a key to the kitchen after?
Yes.
And here on board 3, we have Sodakova versus Wong, and Sophia Rode, Elliot Winslow. Elliot Winslow is playing chess right now, Sophia. You must know. You're watching us on Facebook. Cool. Yeah. Sophia, I played your husband many, many, many years ago when we were both kids. Sophia Rode, I think that's Michael Rhodes'
it's funny. I was
wife.
I was just talking to her the other day because we're on the clubs committee.
Okay. Yeah, and I played your husband, Sophia, many years ago in the U.S. Junior Championship, and we also played at Lone Pine once, and I must say that ex-husband. Yikes. Okay. I do suffer from foot and mouth disease, Sophia. So, and Abel is responding to you. Yeah. Okay, so interesting
That's
stuff.
very cool, checking out the broadcast.
Sophia,
Hey,
I don't know if we ever met. Probably not. I got out of chess a long time ago and came back into it, and now
I'm messing with Paul's mouse over here.
So this is Sodakova versus Wong, and Natalia's playing this system again, which Bobby Fischer. Yeah,
Dude, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
We need to separate.
It doesn't really work. Yeah.
They have 3 communication.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I can do it on the. Oh no, because I won't see it.
You can bring it right here.
Yeah, but
A fairly typical
I
French.
won't get where it's everything.
You can also just talk. Well, I don't know if you want. Let's see,
Yeah, I can
A6.
just verbalize it.
So a fairly typical kind of French game where white's got more space and black has a solid position. Many times,
Yeah, we actually spoke because we're actually doing work on the chess clubs committee, and I'm going to see her in Orlando along with a lot of other people.
Sophia, what club do you belong to? So she's a chess club?
Actually, she was saying that many people oftentimes confuse her home residence as a chess club, and so she get a lot of people knocking on the door.
What's her home? Why is that?
I don't know. I think they look her up, and then
Sophia Road Chess Club
or something.
Is there
yeah.
such a thing? Interesting. So Sophia,
has
we
met?
have
Yeah,
met. It's like my brain.
Who knows what kind of impression you made?
The problem was that my short-term. Well, I don't know.
He's gonna blame the short-term memory.
Yeah, I'm an old man now, so it's hard for me to remember anything. Where did just have IAIO dear? What does that mean? IAIO dear.
International Arbiter, International Organizer.
Little House of Chess. Okay, so that's your chess club. And is that in New York City? I'm guessing. Your memory's strong. Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Yeah.
What did you
Scared of
do?
people like that.
What did you do, Paul?
I was probably some. Lloyd's Bank. Wow. That was in London in 1983.
Wow.
And
your memory's strong.
phew, I played. I didn't do very well in that tournament. Yeah, I was living in I was staying in Ireland. Okay, Little House of Chess is a company. Wow, were you playing, Sophia? Yeah, that's amazing.
I know the IAIO is probably International Arbiter, International Organizer, so she's probably organized several events. And you might
Okay.
you might have been to one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes to something. I said or
Yeah, you
said.
played one of the events she organized.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, we're going to move on to the next game here.
See you in Orlando, Sophia.
Arbiter.
Yeah.
All right, on board 4 we have 2 strong players who, 2 strong masters, and we're going to go, it's a Dutch defense, Stonewall, and fairly typical setup here.
A lot of moves. Quite a
Both
few.
players are just kind of bringing their pieces out. And that's about that. We got the chess clock ticking away.
Yeah, we ran out of time already. Is it like 5 minutes per game? Is that what the...
Oh, we can set it for whatever time. Okay, so on board 5 we have Michael Lynn versus Kaylin Melville. And these are 2, I think, expert chess players. Am I correct?
Yeah. Kaylee's right on the door of 2000, and
So they're competing for some expert prize money.
yeah.
Thank you, Sophia. We're you know, I mean, we're sometimes it feels like a struggle, you know, especially with the quality of games that I have here to comment on. I mean, let's see, I'm trying to get
I'm
these
sure the
guys to
players are gonna
raise
love
it.
that.
This is a really funny opening. This is what is going on here. Let's go back here. It starts out as a Owen's defense against the English. And then this e5 move is quite unusual. Usually black would be playing e6, I would guess. And we have a very bizarre looking position. Black is playing creative chess. Seems to be doing quite well though. I think white maybe has not played this up to par. If we go back, it was perhaps a decision to let the for example, in this position, white could maybe hold up on playing d4, maybe. But let's see, d4 takes, bishop b4. And now there's this thing of it's going to be very difficult for white to prevent the doubling of his pawns. And actually, that's going to be kind of good for black, I think. 2 bishops. It's double-edged. It's double-edged. Okay. Let's take it a little bit further, a little bit to the next game. And Michael Walter, master versus Pranav Senthil Kumar. And who I'm thinking is an expert, and Michael Walter's a very experienced master. He's played for many years. Let's see what's going on here. Well, okay, there was the attack on the e4 knight. White's gained space on the queen side, a fairly typical formation for both sides. Okay. Board 7. Let's see what's going on here. This should be good for black. This is a well-known opening. Black is doing quite well here. H6 might not be necessary. And at least equality for black. And now Robert Smith and Kevin Reese is the last top board in the open section, in the over 2000 section. And Queen E2, that Chigorin's old move against the French defense, transposing into the King's Indian attack. White throws a little twist into it with knight A3 instead of the usual knight to D2. That's another fairly kind of standard position. Both players, you know, that probably White's going to overprotect. Now here, if I was White, I might have wanted to lock it up with C4. I don't see any use for White keeping the position fluid like this. C4 looked like a natural move. Queen C2 is an oddball move. Quite an oddball move. Okay. Let's move on. And now this is the top board in the under 2000 A and B section. And it's Alexander Huberts versus Mansour Mohammed, who I think is in sole possession of first place in this, and is having a great tournament. And let's see what's going on here. We have a Lopez deferred with G6, and sometimes this can give White a headache. Normally Black might play D5 there. This is another approach. So White is obviously prepared to take back on F3 with the pawn, because if he takes back with the queen, then knight takes D4 is coming up. This is after the bishop moves. So we could get some scenario like bishop C2, bishop F3, GF3, and White has the two bishops. Not clear. Again, this is a game that's in flux. Okay, we're going to go finally to the top board in the under 1600 section, and we've been posting these to give our regular club players a chance to be in the limelight. And we've been surprised that actually sometimes the quality of the games has been pretty good. And also, the games are just as exciting to comment on often. All right, so White's H3 here. On the other hand, there's some amateurish moves can be played by these folks in the lower boards. H3 is a good example. I mean, Black's not exactly threatening bishop G4 or knight G4. Bishop F5, knight C3. And normally that would be, you know, I would say that's just a kind of another insipid move which blocks a C pawn. And White and Black maybe shouldn't, and White plays A3 again. Well, this time actually that prevents knight B4, which was actually a threat, amazingly enough. Although white could play bishop out, and if knight b4, rook c1. So these are unnecessary amateurish moves that I try to get my students not to play. What are you laughing about, Beck?
This is the value of showcasing these games.
Well, but h3 and a3 are good examples of moves that
And that's John, right?
John Chan. I try to get my students who are rated in this thing.
He does that.
To not
often.
play these moves. They're wastes of time. They
He frequently does that, but and his strength is that he does these loose tempo moves and these odd moves, but
his opponents are not good enough to take advantage of.
yeah, and tactically he can see stuff, right, and that bails him out later on.
Okay, let's keep on going here. As long as both players are not hanging pieces, then I'm fine with that.
And actually, that's
And again, so this delayed. I mean, I guess actually black here has a bit of a threat of playing g5, bishop g3, bishop g3, f g3, rupturing the white pawns and making white's e pawn backward. So h6 is actually threatening that. Sort of impelling white to take on f6. Of course, white could play g4 here too, but that's another story. And black takes back with the pawn, which is reasonable. I mean, he could take back with the queen. It would be fine. And then black has the two bishops.
And maybe that's kind of its own kind of like learning barrier is like, okay, when somebody plays h3, we inherently know that that's not the best, but why? How do you take advantage of that? And maybe that's kind of a 1600 thing to think about, right? For those players is.
Well, I think one of the problems is it's a negative thinking, and it kind of it opens the door to other bad moves. Is what I've found. Is that you give your opponent the chance to catch up, especially if you're white and you make moves like h3 and g3, h3 and a3. You're giving your opponent a chance to make an easy equality, and it also kind of sets up a way of thinking that's detrimental. That's a negative way of thinking, and leads to similar kind of. It's not that they lose, it's that they're losing moves. It's that they're not constructive moves.
Hey there. I think we might be ready for.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead and.
So I have some visitors from England, merry old England. Let's see, I'm going to take Abel's. So what I've been doing now is, what I'm doing in here is I'm commenting on the games that are out there.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
You
And,
watch the broadcast.
and you watch the broadcasts.
Sorry,
Have you watched any of these broadcasts?
I haven't watched these ones, but I've watched some other ones.
Other chess.
Yeah.
Well, we're just starting this out, and I'm a FIDE master.
Okay.
Are you a master chess player? as
No,
well?
unfortunately not.
No. Or your dad?
No, he doesn't really.
Master
So-
supporter. Master supporter.
Yeah, so in England, I'm ECF 140.
Okay, I don't.
So that would, I think that's roughly about probably 1600 FIDE, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
So,
So what I'm doing in here is I'm commenting. Yeah, and like you said, you watch other commentators. So we're chess club, and we have right here we have our top 8 boards in the over 2,000 section, the strongest players, and then we have we're also broadcasting our A and B section, which are like ELO 1600 to 1999.
okay.
And then we have an one board for our under 1600,
Okay.
which is under 1600.
Yeah.
Euro. Yeah. So this is also FIDE rated. And so are you making a chess tour of, what's your name?
Sasha Kerbal.
Sasha, I'm Paul.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. And your
No.
dad?
David.
David, nice to meet you.
No, I'm just on holiday, but I'm a big fan of chess, so I like to.
Right. This is interesting. I played in Lloyd's Bank, a tournament called the Lloyd's Bank Tournament in 1983 in London, and somebody was remembering that they had seen me there, and I couldn't remember her, and that's just because it was a long time ago, but. Yeah, we have a clock ticking. Can you hear that, John? Yeah, is that distracting, or is it kind of like dun 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 dun?
From England.
Okay, we're from in England.
Leicester. So,
Leicester.
I play for the Leicestershire junior team.
Okay.
So. Yeah,
And do you have
play.
GGT? Do you have a chess club in Leicester that's like a physical chess club that meets sometimes?
Yeah, so I think there's like a league in Leicester. So like there are lots of different clubs in Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
So I play for a Wixon club, which is it's fairly big, but not obviously as big as this one.
Right.
And then we have an annual league. So I think there are 5 divisions. And it's 4 players a team, and then we go around Leicester basically playing other teams. And then there's also summer cups, so over the summer we have like different sort of cups.
Do you get the opportunity to play strong players? Somebody asked you play in pubs.
Sometimes, yeah. Obviously, yeah, it's not as developed as in America here.
Do you get an opportunity to play strong players?
Yeah, sometimes. So at the
like
club,
in tournaments?
yeah. So we play so leagues like less serious, but there are proper tournaments. 4NCL, yeah.
What's 4NCL mean?
So that's like a national thing. So you go around the country, and it's quite a big tournament.
Sophia knows a lot about this. She's an international arbiter, so
yeah. So 4NCL, there are also quite a lot of junior tournaments where junior players play each other. So you can really, they're mostly like Saturdays, and they're the whole day. They're usually like rapid plays. So if you wanted to, you could tour the country every Saturday. You could be playing in a tournament.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
so
England's not huge, so it's actually possible
exactly.
to.
So in America, like you'd have to fly, but. Yeah.
And when I was a kid learning how to play chess, I was lucky to be here in the Bay Area. So I'd travel around the Bay Area playing chess. Go over to Berkeley or go to Monterey, or something like that, as far as Monterey to play in chess, and it was maybe a little similar.
Yeah.
So there is an opportunity. I heard English chess is not doing so great lately in terms of the top players are
I
not.
think
Like there was a golden age of English chess, like 20 years ago.
Stuck a bit now.
And now you have some great players, but they're getting older. And
Yeah, they're getting older. No one's really coming through at the moment.
are you the next?
I don't think so.
What is the not enough rated though?
No, I'm a bit low.
So why is there not enough support, or is it just going through a phase of?
I think there isn't much funding really for chess in England. It's not obviously considered a sport, so it means that there's not really much money. Yeah, and the junior program, it's all right, but I think there's some so it's in like counties. So you have quite a lot of counties in Leicester. In England.
Leonard Barden Group, she's saying. I don't know what. I know Leonard Barden is a famous. Leonard Barden was a famous chess player, but so.
Yeah. So
she knows much more about this than I don't know almost nothing.
Yeah.
English
So
chess.
in English chess, I think it's mainly in counties. So you have a county team, which plays in like tournaments for around the country.
Right.
Okay. So. Leicestershire, it's all right, but it hasn't really got as a big. I think in London's obviously the best teams, but then they also, I think Nottingham's quite good.
They have to rate immediately. It says, I'm not sure what, Sophia, you mean by that. Leonard List. she might be having a conversation with somebody else. that
Yeah,
I'm not
I don't
aware
know
of.
what that is. I think we can play some really good players. I don't think there are as many titled players and top
Uh-huh.
masters, but I think
But you have teams that go out.
we
right?
do. Yeah.
See,
so,
when I was a young player, it was just me against the world. You know, it wasn't like I went to chess tournaments and, you know, my brother came, but there was no chess teams. There was no.
yeah, it's nice like that, and I think that there's quite a team spirit. So
Mhm.
I train every Saturday
right.
for 2 or 3 hours
With other chess
with
players.
a team,
With-
that's
yeah.
the junior team.
And do you have like a master that's helping you?
Yeah, so we have, we're going through some changes at the moment, but at the moment I think we've got Alan Agnew, who's taking over. He's 200 ECF, so in FIDE I think that would be, it's pretty good, so I'd say probably maybe just over 2,000,
Right.
something like that. So I think he's Leicestershire champion, so he's one of the better players. So there's some good coaching out there, but it's quite hard to get committed coaches.
Right. Of course, now you can be a coach and be, give lessons over the internet. So you could take lessons from a Russian grandmaster or something if
exactly.
you wanted.
I play quite a lot online
Uh-huh.
on chess.com, so
Right.
I'm a big fan of that.
Do you have any questions?
So you'll be playing players from all over the world. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
What you can do now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, chess is very different. It's a different game in terms of you're being able to play like that.
Can I ask, I mean,
Yeah.
Sasha plays a lot of these blitz games, and I think it's very good for his instinct, but is it actually so good for his chess development?
I would say you want to play to be good at blitz. I mean, all the best players are good at blitz play. Are good at blitz play. So I think that any chess that you do is good, but you don't want to be just a great blitz player and then not have the patience to sit there during a regular game, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have a balance.
Yeah.
All the world champions were great blitz players, and so like.
I think it's probably harder though to go from being really good at blitz to really good at classical than it is to go from, because if you're good at classical you're probably going to be pretty good at blitz just because you've got the overall knowledge.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. People are saying over the board is better. I would tend to agree with you. I would tend to agree that you should try to play flesh and blood opponents as much as possible.
I think England's quite good for that because you can play for a club just locally. So
right.
I think we have matches every Thursday night.
Mm-hmm. And
so
you were saying every Saturday.
Every Saturday you can train, but like
if you'd like chess,
you can regularly kind of play quite often without having to travel too far. It's literally it's an hour max every week.
Yeah.
And you can play proper classical standard games that are rated as well, so that's good.
We're a chess club, and we want people to come into the club and play chess. We don't want people to be just playing over the over the internet.
Yeah.
We are commenting on games, but not playing games here at the Mechanics Institute yet. Although who knows, at some point maybe we're going to have some matches that are played with other clubs that are going to be played through the internet. But right now we haven't done that. I think as a club played any. But we're set up now to do that with the DGT boards. Do any of the clubs that you visit or your club have any DGT boards, these digital game technology boards?
I don't think we've got like that yet, but I think at some of the big tournaments, so in Britain for the junior tournaments, the really big one is the Delancey tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, it's 3 tiers, so you've got Mega Final, Giga Final, Terra Final.
Okay.
So Mega Final anyone can really play in.
Okay.
But
then
the idea is that each school will
so
actually
it's
have.
trying to encourage chess in schools.
Mm-hmm.
So you were like the local school champion, so that
So then
that
you
puts you
qualify
through.
for that. But anyone really can play in that one.
Right.
Then the Giga finals. So I think you have to come first or second in your section.
Mm-hmm.
So the sections are in ages.
And then they have organized tournaments, and and you'll find your way to a place, maybe a
So,
tournament where they have digital.
so the Giga
boards.
finals like for pretty good players, and then if you come in the top 1 or 2 of the Giga final, you get to the Terra final, and that's for the England team juniors really. So the elite play there, and they've obviously got DGT boards there.
Right,
I
and
think
the
they
price
stream
is
them.
going to go down. I think on the tech, probably with the technology. Sophia, you're saying you have 12 DGT boards,
Wow,
so maybe
that's
we'll
really-
challenge you to a match.
Yeah.
Well, she's a well-known chess organizer. We're looking at at some point to play matches with clubs.
Yeah.
That's really
all
cool.
around the
Yeah, really
world.
good. With DGT.
Club, using DGT
Play.
boards and so on and so forth.
It's a step up from the telegraph. I was
Yeah.
noticing outside the
Right,
the pictures.
telegraph. And I played in the 1980s, late 1970s and 1980s. I played in telephone matches where there was one telephone line and 5 boards or something, and you played on the honor system. There was no video. There was a tournament director who would go and make the moves, and it was a bit of it was like I remember the tournament director here he would say, okay, knight to f3, and then he'd slowly walk across the room and make the move knight f3, for your opponent, and you heard it 10 minutes, So it was a little bit, but everybody was probably doing it, and there was no outright cheating, and so it was, and I played for a team called the Berkeley Riots. That was like, so that there's a worldwide chess league, internet chess.
Yeah, the Pro Chess
The
League.
Pro Chess
I've been
League.
following that a bit
Right,
as
right.
well. I think that's really interesting.
And
I think it's quite-
now they've got Carlson and everybody
Yeah, they've got
else
everyone
playing
going.
on it, But back in my day, it was like the Washington, it was just an American, bunch of American teams playing. Yeah, so chess is just, who knows where the next, step is going to be,
Well, I think to really get the online game going really well, I think they need to sort out cheating, because I think it's very hard to really,
cheating.
I think with the Pro Chess League, I think they've introduced technology, so it's something that's really cool. So they've got like cameras, obviously.
They've
checking.
caught cheaters.
But they've even, I think what's really cool is I've been watching the broadcast. They've got eye detectors, so it watches their eye movement as they're playing.
Is that
And you can
right?
watch it. I think it was really cool. One of the games, so you can watch these top players,
In the Pro Chess
watch
League.
their eyes, watch their thoughts, what they're looking at, and you can, I think you
Amazing.
can learn a lot from that.
Amazing. I never would have thought. I mean, are they trying to catch cheaters with
I
that?
don't think that's for cheating. I think that's just for interest. But I
Right.
think it's really cool how they've got trackers and they can.
But
watch.
are we able to learn from that? Do you think you're able to learn from that? Watching.
I think
where
it takes
Carlson's
a lot of practice probably to interpret what the things. I think you can definitely learn from the top players, and it will take a while to be able to fully interpret. And these at the moment they're doing it so quickly. I don't think it's just too confusing.
I
But-
think it's interesting to see the way that that good players think. That's,
definitely. I think that's really.
It's not so much the thicket of variations that you're seeing that's interesting, but
Yeah.
more like their way of thinking, what they choose to pay attention to, and what they don't choose to pay attention
exactly.
to, and also their flexibility of thought is much more developed. Whenever I go into a skills room and watch the players analyzing, it's always the weakest players who play their moves the most decisively and say, this is absolutely the best move,
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
I'm watching grandmasters analyze and all bets are off. They're the ones that they're not sure, and they want, and they have to get to the real. Their minds are more open and more flexible, and they're less judgmental. and less likely to make definitive statements.
Yeah, I think it's really important to look at like the whole board, and obviously it's very easy as a level player to actually forget that the whole board, and you're so focused on one part that you forget that something else is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I've even had like stuff online where I'm focusing really on one part of the board, and then they're running really low on time, so they try some like trick where they move their queen, so they're checking my king and my queen's on pre.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm trying to move so quickly, I just move my king and forget that my
Right.
And obviously that's in a normal game I'd see that, but it
You
just
have
shows
to-
you
you
have
have
to
to
pay attention to the whole board.
You
all
have
the
to pay
time.
attention all throughout the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to often do that.
Do you want to stay here and look at me while I take a look
sure.
at the next? Go back up to board 1 here. These are both 2,400 strength players. Kyron Griffith is the highest ranked player in the tournament, 2,450 or so.
Okay.
And he has an international master norm. They're both leading the tournament with 5.5 out of 7.
Is this the last round?
This is the last round.
Wow, this is
And it's a Nardorf.
okay.
So it's a very sharp
interesting.
opening. And it's still, we're following the games without computer analysis.
That's good. Yeah,
Deliberately, so that we can do what we're just talking about, which was try to use human. It's too much. It's too easy when we have a computer to tell us what to do. And also, I watch. We kind of based it a little bit on watching Svidler and Grishuk analyze the last World Championship match between Caruana and Carlsen, which was done. The whole broadcast was done without computer analysis.
Wow, that's really.
They just, and that was hours, 6 hours of the two of them sitting there, going over, and the depth of their thinking was incredibly deep.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought, and what a great way to see how great players think without them having to resort to a computer. Which the computer doesn't really do us much good, I don't think, or less good.
In that World Championship, there was one move where I think it was game 8 or something, where they had the bishop move, and wow, it was like all the these best players in the world, and none of them saw it, and then the computer's like, in 40 moves you can win as a forced mate.
But it's incredible how much strong grandmasters like Grishuk their analysis is very, very, very good. And they're able to see so much. I'm not Grishuk, and neither are the people that are coming in here are not Svidler. But we're trying to sort of get that idea across that we don't need computers to analyze chess games.
When I go through games with my coach, I think he says it's really important not to just get the computer in straight away, and actually
I agree.
You must look at the position first just to get a feel for it, instead of just looking immediately at the best line.
Vegas for the National Open in June. I'm not sure who that is. Yet I have a feeling there's conversations going on that I don't know who people are, but that's okay. Okay, so this game is
very sharp.
It's very sharp, and I'm going to skip on to the next game, which is this is an actual international master, Elliot Winslow. We can go back to the beginning of this game really quickly. An actual international master, Elliot Winslow, has been around. He's playing a FIDE master, Ezra Chambers, and these guys are kind of in second place. Another Nardorf, and we see this kind of formation a lot now.
Yeah, so it's about the play on d5, I think.
Right.
The square.
All right. And except for he didn't jump into d5.
No, he's trying a different way.
Okay. Kyron Griffith. Okay.
Yeah, this is still sharp. But
Bishop a2 is interesting.
Wow.
And
so
now d5.
Center.
Well, the knight on a5 is hanging,
Yes.
and it looks like knight b3 might be almost forced because it's hanging, and if knight c4, well, you could play knight
Yeah,
c4,
knight
and if
c4.
knight e3, you have to take back with the knight. Because if you took back with the queen, bishop c5 would win your queen.
Yeah.
So now knight c4, it doesn't look to me like. I mean, this might have been a good way for black to have played, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the rook's definitely white's coordination got some coordination issues.
Mhm.
The
And
rook's,
because black can take on e3, he's going to get an easily equal game.
yeah, I think its pawn structure is good as well. So even the knight on c4, it's attacking e5, but it's not actually really a threat because the e5 is fairly well protected.
This has gone well for black, I think. And okay, so we're gonna move on.
Black's doing well there.
We're gonna make some. We're gonna always come back. This is women's FIDE master Natalia Saudakova versus national master. Yes, Elliot. As he's around, Sophia. Let's see. This was started off as a kind of as a French defense,
Okay.
and white has the typical space advantage, and that's about
Might
it.
attack on the king side maybe. And it looks fairly well defended, but
Okay, advantage white, but nothing really spectacular going on here. We're going to go to the next game. These are two strong masters, Shaw and Ivanov, and this was a Stonewall Dutch formation. Both players.
yeah, I think Simon Williams, who's a British grandmaster, really plays a lot of Dutch.
Okay.
So he makes YouTube videos. I think I find them really interesting. He's a very aggressive player, so it's good to watch.
The play is switched over to the queen side.
Yeah.
It's a game, folks. It's a game.
Yeah, there's lots of tension in the centre, so it's...
Okay, we'll move on. This is two experts playing on this set of funny opening. Owen's defense transposing into this kind of strange. And I thought black got a good game here with the cripple white
yeah,
pawns.
white's pawns don't look great.
On the other hand, you never underestimate the
No,
two
it's
bishops.
bishop pair, yeah.
But I guess white would like to play f4 and e5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or g4 and g5, or who knows.
You gotta be
Attacking, he has
careful,
to
you
take-
don't want to make the white bishop too powerful.
And this game, I'll go back to here, kind of a Nimzo with f5, and black is attacking b4 before
Yeah.
white can castle.
Yeah, I play the Nimzo a little bit, so I know a little bit about the Nimzo.
This was an all, whatever you call this bishop b4 check move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Bogo
Indian.
yeah.
Bogo Indian, and so white's got the two bishops, but white seems to be a little stuck here.
Yeah, I think the risk is if you can overexpand, so you push your pawns too far, but then you weaken yourself quite a lot, especially on the queen
And
side.
queen b3 might run into bishop d5, or even takes, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Black looks like he's doing okay here, although that knight at a6,
Yeah, if it can't
it could be an
be-
issue. Maybe black should have played knight c6.
Yeah, that looks a little bit more natural.
Hello, Quan 319.
He might be trying to maneuver maybe to d5 at some point.
Yeah, I thought maybe black should have played knight c6, the move before instead of knight a6, because if that knight might not be able to extricate itself. Let's say queen b3 here,
Yeah.
for example. Okay, we'll move on questions. Chess is a bunch of questions. That's all it is. All right, so Black got a great opening here,
Center got.
and is just piling it on.
White's in trouble here.
So the e4 pawn is attacked, but this looks good for Black. He could play Queen e7. I was just going to say Queen
huge space
e7.
advantage. The question is,
D3 was also possible.
can White undermine the center? But it doesn't look like it.
All right. I'm going to leave this game quickly. This is the final board for White. Finally did play c4. We were at this position earlier, and I was wondering why White didn't play c4 here, because leaving the center open doesn't seem to be would do him any good, and he did play c4, but a move later. I'm not sure what's White's doing with this Queen d1. Why not bring your other rook over to the king's side?
I don't know where the queen's going there.
Yeah. Seems to be some strange moves by White here. A plan for White here is to play g4 and h5 maybe, and also to play knight d2, e4. You want to think about where your pieces are going to go.
That knight on e4 is really good, potentially even
Knight
d6.
d2 to e4 to d6 to f6 to follow, also g4 as possible.
I wonder if you could...
But you have to react quickly. If Black plays b5 and doubles rooks on a b file or something, he could get in before you do anything. Chess is a matter of timing. You have to and we were talking about wasting moves in the opening, like with h3 and a3 earlier. It was very amateurish, and that's all about chess is about timing.
Timing and order.
And I think, I'm not sure what White's doing here with his last 3 or 4 moves here. Okay. Let's move on to the top board in the very dramatic, of course, this is the top board in the A and B section.
Okay.
And we were thinking, I don't know if you were with me, but I was pointing this out, that Black could double the White pawns, and we're left with this. And now he's gonna
the king could be maybe a bit exposed.
I think that's less the issue than Black just sort of having a simple equality after taking one of the
Bishop.
Although you're right, after taking off one of these bishops.
I mean, if White...
Black can play f5 at some point. This is looking okay for Black.
Yeah.
It's still up in the air.
I like Black's position. I play a similar-ish opening.
Okay. Yeah. It's looking like it could have come out of a Roy Lopez. This is an odd move. Rook e1 to c1. Also, I'm not sure.
Double on the c file, or I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, and he wants to put pressure down to the c file. I'm not sure. That's not a move that would have naturally occurred to me.
Yeah, usually in this opening, I think often you want to get rid of that dark squared bishop. I'm not sure. I mean, often you want to.
Black could play f5. Black could play f5 here. Anyway, it's another game that's in flux, and now we're going to move to this game where White played those moves h3 and a3 that we were talking about earlier, out of nowhere, for no reason really. Black has just played bishop e4 instead of maybe bishop h7.
Yeah, I think that's probably better.
But I'm not. And rook f1 was played, and to get out of the pin, Black plays f5, takes, and goes back to h1. And I don't want. This is very bizarre play here. Sorry for my commentary is making people laugh in the background.
I appreciate the honesty.
And people are boasting on Twitch how they beat each other. And now the bishop returns to e4. Finally, white takes it off and goes back to... White's... This game is not inspired. The way white has played this game, and he's gone back with all of his pieces.
Bring the queen back.
I think this is just unbelievable how badly white is playing this. Finally castles, and what's this knight d4 move? Okay, if e d4, queen, bishop f4. If queen d4, then what?
You got a discovery with the bishop somewhere, maybe.
It's an enterprising move. King b1. Okay,
interesting move.
let's see. What happens after queen d4? Bishop h2 is maybe a simple move.
Yeah, you win your piece back.
Winning the piece back.
Maybe I want to see what happens if you try and make the king maybe take on a3.
And
probably
then,
just a piece.
And then
back,
queen takes e4. Oh, you could play bishop b2 check and rook takes d1.
See what's happening there.
And you'd have a rook for 2 pieces and a lot of
very expensive.
Yeah. That would be very good.
Like that, yeah.
That would be very good.
It's a very interesting move, knight takes.
Well, white deserves to get crushed here. King b1, bishop a3 anyway. Okay.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
I think that might be a bit.
What about just pawn takes knight now? I don't see any answer to pawn
queen?
takes knight. Pawn takes knight? Anybody? I think this is a... this is... Yeah, okay. Okay. He doesn't play pawn takes knight. He plays queen c3.
Wow.
Black does have 2 pieces hanging, so what's going to happen here? Black just keeps feeding him that pawn. This game kind of defies description almost, in a way.
Wow.
Okay, Black's got 3 pawns for a piece. And, I mean, it's not bad the way Black is... I mean, White has played such a strange game. He sort of deserves to lose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
I know, it's still
weird...
3 pawns for a piece.
White needs to develop, really, but...
We've seen a lot of bizarre moves in this game. All right, so now let's go to maybe the top board again, and we'll go back once more through this cycle of the boards. Queen d2, bishop d7. We got to this, and White plays knight d5. Okay, Andy Lee has. Well, I guess he had to play knight d5 because if the knight goes back somewhere like to d1 or b1, Black plays a5 and White's doing nothing. So knight d5 is just about forced. And Black has to take something here. Good evening, everybody. Bishop g5, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hg5, and now, is he going to take the knight? No, he takes the bishop.
Bishop first.
And now takes the knight.
So is he going to take on d5 with check? Or...
Let's see. So he plays e5 check, king f8, and then guards the knight with the... If you attack the knight with queen e2, he plays g6. But you can also play queen b4, and you're on d6, and you've only got 1 pawn for the piece.
Yeah.
And you could play queen g5 check. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was forced maybe knight d5, but I'm not sure whether it's good.
I know, but White deliberately... So White's got several candidate moves here. I mean, he can play knight f5. He could play e5. He could maybe play g6. Apart from playing e takes g5 check.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play ed5 check and then play something like knight c6 or afterwards. Or there's all kinds of ways that you can try to think of throwing wood on down to the
Yeah.
fire of the
I
attack.
think yeah, White's got to mate really if they can.
Yeah, yeah. It's an exciting game on board one anyway,
Yeah.
so the spectators are thrilled, right? If nothing else.
Yeah, I think probably prefer black.
Okay,
but-
so how about this for? So I'm looking at some line where he plays ED5, check, King F8, and then White plays something like Queen F4, hoping for Knight takes F4. Rook takes H8,
Okay.
May.
Oh wow, got some.
So Queen F4 threatens what? Queen G6 check. I don't know. It's just cheap.
D6.
It threatens Knight E6 check.
It's an interesting move though.
Winning for White.
Wow.
Hey, well, okay. It could be winning for White.
Black's got to be careful here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, this is an interesting position, but we'll come back to it. Let's go back to board two, and White plays Knight C4, which, and now I think Black is sort of in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, I think they've got the initiative now.
At least equality.
Yeah.
Go Winslow. All right, go Winslow. Let's move on. Run back through the boards. And this is again, okay, so the white squared bishops have gotten exchanged. And again, we're just dealing with that white space advantage. White doesn't have much here at all.
No, I think Black's very solid.
Solid. Okay, these now we're going to the game between two masters here. Let's back up. White played Knight D3. These guys are keeping. Finally, they couldn't stand it and had to exchange some of these pawns. Well,
Yeah, it's hard to
know what's going on here. Does White want to play Knight D4 to keep things a little loose?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Let's move on here again. This game, Black was developing
pawn
pressure on
structure,
C4.
Yeah, this is classic. You're often in a
Right, let's go back a few moves just to see how that develops.
standard in Nimzo where you
Right.
target that C4 pawn.
Black got a good opening here. out
Yeah,
of this
this
game.
is ideal.
Oh. Is White going to play Knight B5? I don't know. Tune in. All right, we'll move on. And Black took on C5. Oh, White did play Queen B3
Oh, okay.
to defend, and then Black takes on C5.
Okay.
So either that knight at A6 is going to be a liability, or or else Black's going to play Rook B8 and develop all kinds of pressure. Like if B takes C5, Rook FB8, and then
Yeah,
there
really.
could be something. Black, And Black put a little pressure on himself, by putting the knight on A6.
Yeah, I
Whereas
don't
on
think you needed
C6, if we'd gone back here a little bit, I think if this position, if Black had played, Rook takes Rook and Knight C6 or Knight C6 right away, it looked to me like that he would have had less problems.
Yeah.
Although
yeah.
Bishop E4 is possible, I don't know. Then Knight B4, we'd have to look at it.
Yeah.
We're looking at it, but we're not really looking at it.
I haven't got a computer.
Yeah, we're just throwing out ideas. We're not trying to get to the. Sometimes we'll try to get to the bottom of it, and sometimes not. Just chess is this. You can spend hours. So this is this position. We'll move on here. White feels like he has all the time in the world to play A3.
Wow.
But this is black has built up a really nice position. He can play E3 or D3, so this is black for choice here.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
Although white for choice for time.
Wow, big time advantage.
Big time advantage for
It's still a
white.
complicated position as well.
So black doesn't want to be overthinking things too much. That can be a problem in chess too. It can be a sign that you're out of form when you're taking a lot of time.
I think but this is a critical moment, so I think you probably need to spend some time thinking here, but you can't spend too long.
No.
Is there increment or is there delay?
There's a delay. 5-second delay from move 1.
Wow, okay, so
Yeah.
that's tough, because obviously you're going to have time pressure even if
Right,
you can never gain time back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the bottom board. Okay, so this white played Ring Around the Rosie with all of his pieces. Like, as you can see, Queen D1, Bishop D2, Queen E1, Bishop F4.
Wow.
He probably could have played these moves
From the start.
yeah. But instead chose to get this position 5 moves later. And black is prepared to play B5, and white still has yet to play knight E4, knight D2 to E4. For some reason, this bishop kept going back, and it didn't make any sense, really. Ring around the roses. Okay, so that's another game we're finding hard to understand. This game where white played rook c1, that odd rook move, and black is still thinking. Maybe he's just stunned about this. It's just immobilized him.
That c4 square looks really good for the knight.
Okay. Let's go to the top board in the under 1600 section, where white has undeveloped his pieces. This game defied all kinds of.
Wow, that's
okay, so there's a move that makes sense to me. The knight is attacked; it goes back. Now, this makes sense. Rook d8, and white starts bringing pieces out. Black's gone 3 pawns, and you can see that, still, this game...
Yeah.
Rook g1 check? Wait a minute, are we close to a forced win here for black, maybe, with rook d1 check? That would have forced...
Yeah, do you think a queen trade would favour white or black here?
I think it would favour white, probably. I mean, if I was white, I'd be anxious to get my pieces out of the box and try to trade queens and maybe exploit my material advantage.
Yeah.
So I would say it would favor. But did black miss maybe rook d1 check there? And if
that
knight,
looked really strong.
Tying white down.
Delaying the bishop.
I mean, knight a5. You can still play knight. Yeah.
I think he should.
This is a troublesome position for white.
Yeah.
He's still, even so, it's going to be difficult. Rook d1 is almost impossible to stop. The knight is coming to c4. Black can play his rook up and over, this way, and rook g1
black might just be too quick. I think
White's been asking for it this game. He really has. He's been completely asking to get trounced, and black is trying to do it in his own way. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad people are looking at this game on Twitch and analyzing this game and analyzing these positions. I think it's really fun. It's really interesting, and we're really welcome to hear all this, to see all people having fun with this kind of getting off. Yeah. And maybe when you get back to England, you'll join us. Are you on Twitch? Do you have a Twitch handle?
I'm not on Twitch.
Okay. You can follow us on YouTube or Facebook.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, if there's anything else. Hi, Mom. I lived in England for a while. I went to school there when I was a kid. Yeah, I had an English accent when I was a kid. But believe it or not, I went to boarding school in Suffolk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I think in England, obviously, the south is very, very like.
Leicester is in the north.
Leicester's in the Midlands.
Midlands,
It's
yeah.
a little bit.
Right, where is it near Leeds? And
Leeds is a little bit more north.
100, roughly in between. It's 100 miles
Yeah, I
north
think it's
of
right in the middle. So,
London.
London. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I think the south is a lot better in general.
England's so beautiful. I remember the countryside. I mean, it's like, you know, the most beautiful countryside I remember, you know.
Yeah.
Are you folks just, why are you in San Francisco?
We're on holiday here, so I think tomorrow's going to be our last day, and then
We're planning a road trip actually up to Seattle. So,
Seattle's nice.
So we've got just over 2 weeks on the road. We're hiring a car and going to be stopping, doing a rally up through Manly, Oregon.
Now, Portland has a chess club. I know that.
Yeah,
I'm sure Seattle has a chess club too. There's
yeah,
some strong players up there. That's
I
where
think Nakamura is linked to Seattle. I don't know if he.
Sarawan is, for sure.
Oh yeah, Saran as well.
Yeah,
I really like
yeah.
him. He's really good.
Yeah, I don't know what the chess scene is like up in the Pacific Northwest anymore, but I mean, but regardless, it's a beautiful drive, going to be a beautiful drive up there for sure, you know, through the, are you taking the coastal route or, I guess, or?
Actually, we're sort of doing a cross-country route.
Yeah, that's
sort of
good.
more like figure eight or something.
Yeah.
But
That's great.
I think we'll be going up more or less the centre and...
Yeah, Nakamura, okay,
New York.
what they want to know your name again.
Sasha Kerbal.
Sasha, what's your last name?
Kerbal, Kerbel.
Kerbal. Okay. Please say hi to us when you get back, Sasha.
I'll have to sign up for Twitch.
Or no, you can just or YouTube. Or
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
This is
I can
also
do YouTube as well. Yeah.
YouTube. So yeah, somebody was asking about Nakamura's in New York. Sophia says.
Okay, yeah. He's really good to watch online. I like watching his YouTube videos.
Yeah, well, there's people that do better than we've just started off, and so I look at the people that are doing really well on Twitch, and he's on Twitch, and one of them is the highest is Nakamura. He gets the most people watching.
Yeah, I think it's really changing at the moment. I think a lot of the really top players now are really getting into playing a lot of
Right. And also, there's some pretty girls that are on Twitch too, and they seem to do really well.
Yeah.
You know? It's like I have there's no way I can compete with them. You know, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
So this game is taken. This game. Let's see what happened here, and then we'll move on to the. So after knight a5, rook g1, knight c3 was played to stop rook g1 check. I don't know why black didn't throw that in before.
Yeah.
There would have been and now black plays queen f5 to defend the pawn and attack the f2 pawn. You know, funny enough, white is still in some kind of trouble here, although queen b4 suggests itself here.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then maybe black could finally try rook d6.
I think that the rook needs to get involved
You know,
somehow.
queen a2. All right. All right.
Is he trying maybe if the knight moves,
queen f-
bishop takes,
Yeah.
and then trying to get an attack of their own?
White is walking on a precipice. Queen a2 x glam. Paul's focused on chess and the CJAT and the chat. Chess is a weird community, huh? Cough, cough.
Andrea
I'm on the
Botes.
What's the Twitch mechanism?
I don't know.
What? Who says chess and the CJAT?
Yeah, probably trying to write chat as a typo.
Okay. Yeah. Botez and Andrea Botez, right? And it's not fair. You know?
You can't compete.
It's not fair that Nakamura and Botez are on there. You know, so we're gonna try to do something about it.
Unfriended him because he drew.
My brother said there's some really funny chat stuff on here tonight, Abel. There's some really great chat stuff here with Sophia Road and other people
Yeah, that was like a nice surprise.
that are all talking to each other.
Yeah, I really like chess.com. It's
Oh, very nice.
a great website.
Yeah, and you can see this is when you're seeing this is these people are on Twitch.
Yeah, I sometimes
here.
watch on their chess live. They have a channel on chess.com. So
And so that's what we're on Twitch right now as well.
Actually, when we ran our rapid championship.
Sophia Road is here on Facebook.
oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I see. That's where you see what platform they're using.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we ran our Mechanics Institute Rapid Championship, they broadcast that on the main Twitch channel because we had Caruana and
Yeah.
D6 was played.
and everybody.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, so the New Yorkers are always the coolest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the people from Leicester are even cooler.
Although they're showing us up a little bit because all the New Yorkers are here chiming in and watching. You know, where's our Bay Area representation?
Yeah. Or we're the people from Brazil and all. You know, but Black
Yeah.
looks like Black is building up here. but-
Londoners.
So Londoners.
No, chess is great as well because you can watch it in loads of different languages and you can still kind of understand what's going on.
Chess
so
is a universal language. It's incredible. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
You have it in Russian, you still know.
One of my most memorable chess experiences was going to Mexico. I was in Mexico and I played chess in a barber shop. I was passing by a barber shop and I saw two guys playing chess in there and I stopped in. And even though they didn't speak any English and I spoke like Pococito Spanish, they,
That doesn't even count what you just said.
yeah, I know, because it's not even a word.
Doesn't qualify. That's what you were trying to say.
We played some chess, and it was really cool. So it's a universal language. It's something that'll stick with you for the rest of
Yeah.
your life. You know, chess. It's an incredible thing. It's a community, a worldwide community.
Yeah, definitely, and you get that on these websites. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I've noticed also that they tend to be nice to each other, chess players. We're not trying to tear
Wow.
each other down.
Depends which website.
Yeah. That's probably true. That's probably true. Okay, so let's move on. Go ahead.
We're gonna carry on the broadcast.
Okay.
We're gonna get something.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for sticking around and want to enjoy the games and so on and so forth. Yeah.
You'll be able to rewatch it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we're on YouTube forever. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks for welcoming. Absolutely. All right.
Okay.
Great. Oh, okay. There you try.
Kerry Laws is going to join us in a minute.
He actually.
Well, how'd you go?
Yeah. Or he's gonna check the games.
Okay.
But the Chiron Griffith match is pretty intense.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. Well, let's go straight up there. Let's go up to Chiron Griffith. I'm sitting next to me again, in case anybody doesn't know by now, is Mechanics Institute Chess Room Director Abel Talamantes. I put his name up here in lights. 96 is played.
He played that in '96.
Okay. So I had this funny line earlier where instead of 96, I played Queen F4, Knight F4, Rook H8, Main. But there should be some. Okay, this is Andy Lee is. I love the way he plays, man.
Yeah, he
just
came in fearless.
Yeah, he knows some opening. Well, thanks for your kind words, everybody here. It's just fantastic. to
Yeah, you're
get
getting a
this
lot of love
feedback.
here, yeah.
Getting a lot of love, yeah.
Yeah, it's about time, right? Somebody showed you something.
Yeah, I know.
Get her on. I think your game's still going though.
Yeah. So you're looking at score sheets? Is that what you're doing? You're
Yeah,
correcting score
yeah.
sheets. It's like a teacher watching a teacher.
That's right.
Grading papers.
I'm grading the chess
score
players'
sheets.
papers.
All the games in the Tuesday night marathon are actually published online. It's an incredible group effort by the players themselves, as well as Elliot Winslow and Nick DeFermian, who put these games up online and analyze them, and they're here for eternity. Great content, thank you.
Black Dun jumped off the deep end.
96 check, what a fantastic move. And of course Black has to take that, but how to take it with the bishop, with the bishop, and you're going to get some real calculation going here. White's throwing another piece into the mix here.
I'm just thrilled that this game is being played like it was, because it's the final round. It would have been easy just to have kind of like a draw, go home. They know they're going to finish in the money, and they just came out fighting each other for the title, and this is what everybody wanted to see out of the last round, out of this match, out of these two players.
Right.
So however it turns out, just thank goodness that we got the match that
we've got some fighting players
we were looking to get.
Kyron Griffith is, he survived some strong attacks, and let's see if he can survive this one. Angie Lee is definitely going for it here. All right, so if F takes e6, D takes e6 maybe, and bishop e6, rook e6, hard for Black to untangle. Very difficult for Black to untangle. Even after something like F takes e6, D e6, bishop e6, rook e6. Just that position right there, Black would find it very difficult to untangle his forces. He's up a whole.
Somebody's asking me to tell you to sell them a DGT board one.
Okay.
That is sad.
That is
Offer for $5,600.
and I think that person is in Florida. They said they were in Florida, so I'm not sure exactly. You can email the chessroom chessroom@milibrary.org, and you can direct all sort of inquiries there right now. If you want to buy a DGT board from Juan, or you want to criticize the show, or
and maybe for a premium price.
Love.
For a premium price, he can sell you the one that Caruana played on during the MI Championship.
Oh yeah.
Well,
No, we got somebody else also. Quentin.
Well, it's another person who wants to buy.
Pornographer 5-600 says on pals with Cesar.
Caesar.
Caesar friends.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know which Caesar. Tamandong on board 7 or.
But that
Mendoza?
doesn't play with
I
us.
think we met in Vegas. Yeah.
Well, this is a very exciting game. Okay, so let's move on.
It's a food tank.
Board. And this.
Good for you.
Ezra Chambers throws in b3, and Elliot takes it, and now bishop b4. So my guess is that this increases the scope of the dark squared bishop, And black is playing around with a pretty solid initiative here. But it's not over yet. Queen can go to d3 or to c1, it seems to me, and black has not won the position yet. Queen d3, bishop c5, threatening knight b4. I don't know. White's a little awkwardly placed here. So and falling behind on the clock. All right, let's keep rolling. Sotokova is still battling out this French position with space advantage and a solid black position. Okay. Hard-fought games here. Okay. White decided to take on d4 with the knight, and black isolated the queen bishop pawn and then jumped in with his knight, and so exchanging, threatening the pawn at a2 and bringing the knight into the game. Black seems to have an easy game. Knight b4, bishop b4. That's a nice knight at e4. Black has equalized this for sure. White might have done better taking on d4 with the pawn, I think. For those of us, coming here for the first time, or just this is the final round of the Tuesday night marathon. We're going to take a break for 2 weeks and then resume with a 9-round Tuesday night marathon, the Steve Brandewine Memorial Tuesday night marathon. Steve was my predecessor here at the chess club as chess room coordinator. He was a very, very good friend of mine and a good friend to many people and a well-known chess player in the United States. He was a friend of Bobby Fischer's, and he played Fischer at sometime during Fischer's stay here, and a funny anecdote of many anecdotes. And we asked Steve how he did, because he played blitz with Fischer at Jimmy Buff's house. Jimmy Buff lived in the inner Richmond at the time, and Bobby Fischer stayed, and Peter Biasis was living there too. And so I have two funny stories. One is we asked, Peter apparently was not the best blitz player, and Fischer just beat him like a drum. And Peter said, "Bobby, what's wrong with my game?" And Bobby apparently said, "Well, it's your opening, it's your middle game, and it's your end game." So, but Steve also apparently, we asked how he did against Fischer, and he said, "Oh, not so good. I won 1 out of every 10 games." And we were like, we thought that was pretty good. To beat Bobby Fischer 1 out of 10 games is not bad. So it might have even been more. Well, Steve was a vicious blitz player. He knew how to waste time and just move. He had an incredible ability to do that in his prime. Black is fine here. Black has a nice game, actually, I would say, an active game. And that's, I'm going to move on. I'm going to jump quickly to board this game
Question?
Quick question. So I won by destination, so you have individuals, right?
Okay.
So I just want to mention, how about a note that?
White defends C4
I took it out and put it over there.
with Queen E2,
So
and
you
black
just go to where the pairings are on the wall.
puts the pressure
and,
on.
You won 0.
Yeah.
And just put 0-1. You'll see 0-1.
Okay, this
So-
is fine, though, right? Is this fine?
Absolutely.
Okay,
As
so-
long as you put the copy in.
Yeah, yeah.
White needs to try to find a way to open the game up for the two bishops here with this. Otherwise, I like the way black is, how black is.
But now you have to come in the door.
Uh,
I don't think that's okay.
The one I just talked to.
One that's right there.
okay.
Can you close the door,
Black plays C, B takes
Yeah,
C5.
so whoever is
D takes C5.
whoever, like, touched my button.
Bishop D5
So, I'm just
attacking,
trying to, like, touch my back,
attacking
but,
the
like, tell them that's not okay.
I was home.
Okay.
Bishop D5 attacks the
I'm coming here.
the black bishop. Attacks the white queen rather. Bishop C4, and now Rook B8. I'm not sure the tactics are going to work here for black here. Bishop D5. Is going to gain white something. This is not going to work. I think white can simply play bishop d5. Another question, I guess, if rook a6, knight takes c5, that might work. Yeah, it does look like black is lost here. No, or close to it. Too many tricks. Everything going okay on out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is a chess club, so there's always some trouble going on.
Social issues
Social issues.
that need to be addressed.
Okay,
And they were. So
good.
everything good.
Anybody I know?
Yeah.
All parties involved?
Not all parties.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have a feeling this is not going to work here. Bishop d5, white should be able to gain at least a pawn. I'm not sure that rook a6 doesn't work here. Knight c5. And if knight c5, maybe queen a2. I'm going to move on here. Wow, a lot has happened in this game. Let's see what it was. Okay, black decided to play e3, and that looks very strong, of course. And then this further exchange has netted black a pawn. Black could play queen h5 here without any worries, but plays d3, queen c3. Now queen h5 maybe not so strong because of rook e8, black has to take back with the knight. So, but black goes ahead and two rooks for a queen, plus a dangerous pawn on d3, but this looks like it was not maybe the way to go. Knight d4. Can white play queen takes d3 here? Although rook d1 looks like it would win something. That's a nice move. Queen takes d3, rook d1. Should Abel be helping me out? Probably. It looks to me like I'm not sure what's exactly going on. Queen d3 looks like it would lose to rook d1. Black has only 10 minutes left, and white has over an hour, over an hour and a half. All right, let's go to this game. White's finally found a way here in this position. Both players are moving back and forth. He finally found a way into f6, but at the cost of destroying his queen side. White could have played b3 here, earlier, and now he would just be able to play b takes c4, but instead he's kind of put all his eggs into one basket. And how many other cornball phrases can I come up with? How come it says Abel's not helping me out? Why is Abel not helping you out? I don't know. It looks like it looks like I need help. Huh?
Oh, what?
I guess that looks like I need help.
All right, okay. I'm gonna do my part here.
Thanks, Abel.
I'm gonna drag Paul out of the mud.
No, let's go. Let's go to quickly look at Mohammed's game. Go back a few moves. Rook c1 was played, and Black played c6 after 20 minutes of thought. White brings his knight back to e2, and Black plays d5. Okay, this is all possible. Black's got a nice game, I think. E takes d5 is not great. I think Black's gaining some control here.
We can get the f5 in, yeah. Start that rook into action.
Knight c4. Black can play knight c4 and plug up the c file. It's a game.
What are we gonna do?
It's a game.
After today, we got two week break.
I think we can take a 2-week break.
You think
do you
so?
think so? What do you think? What are you going to do on a 2-week break? Tell me.
I think you think. With 2-week break, we'll probably plan how we can organize more tournaments.
Don't we have a bunch of tournaments on tap? Are more planned other than the ones that we already planned?
Actually, I can kind of. I think I can kind of tease it now. So in October, now that I've built it up.
Okay.
In October, we're slated to. It's on the schedule. We have it already. The Cal Chess State Rapid Championship, which we're really excited about.
Is this the first ever?
First ever
Cal State.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Cal Chess event.
It's a Cal Chess event. It's the USCF State Championship.
Wow.
Recognized event. It's the first one.
Wow.
Mechanics Institute. We put in a bid to organize the first ever one.
Okay.
We got it approved through Cal Chess, so it's going to be the official state championship for Rapid.
Wow.
And it's going to be right here at Mechanics Institute.
Wow. In October.
In October.
Are we going to be providing commentary?
Yes, we'll do commentary all the same like we've been doing, so it'll make it even more, and especially the rapid nature. So
okay, that'll be fun.
But so it's gonna be a 1-day event. We'll probably do
like on a Saturday.
On a Saturday, so
okay.
It'll be 7 rounds. But the other really cool thing is, and I think we have it approved and ready to go. Whatever, if not, it's my mistake. But I think there's nothing getting in the way of it happening.
That's okay. We won't have to hold you.
Yeah, don't hold me to it. But I think we're good to go.
Okay.
We put in a bid to, not a bid, but we put in motion through the Cal Chess board to organize the first ever Cal Chess Blitz Championship.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to do it on the very next day, the Sunday. So in October, that
Saturday
same weekend.
Sunday,
So it's the 26th, 27th. So we'll have the Rapid Championship on Saturday, State Championship, and on Sunday we'll have the Blitz Championship.
Blitz State Championship. That makes sense to have the two together.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for the mechanics to do.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have a lot of
Congratulations, man. That is fantastic.
Yeah, so that'll be some exciting, quick, fast pace chess going on.
Okay, and you can register for these events online now?
Yeah, not the Blitz yet.
Okay.
The Rapid Championship, I think we have the information online.
Okay.
That's set. That one is for sure set, ready to go. The date's secured, solid. We've registered the event with FIDE.
Okay.
Because it's going to be FIDE Rapid rated.
Wow.
So it's already registered. So it's good to go. And then we're going to do the same for the Blitz. So it'll be USCF and FIDE Blitz rated.
FIDE Blitz rated.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of action. So that one's kind of exciting.
Does that mean that now that you know how to rate a FIDE, do a FIDE rated Blitz event, does that mean that the next year the Shut, which is one of our big tournaments,
right? And there's
you might rate that FIDE as well?
There's no reason that can't be rated in general because it wasn't even rated.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like a fun
Blitz tournament,
a fun event.
Right.
But hold on, I gotta get some.
Okay.
431 is graduating.
Okay. Oh yeah, excuse me, Quentin. We're hosting a FIDE rated tournament right now, the Tuesday Night Marathon. We've hosted many FIDE rated. Every Tuesday night tournament is a FIDE rated tournament, and there are plenty of other. We've hosted many FIDE rated events. So, yeah. Even I think our Rapid tournament, our Monday night Rapid tournament, is also a FIDE rated event. So, back here is David Olson.
This is he.
How'd you do in your game tonight, David?
Lost.
You lost. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I was gonna one quick thing.
Yeah.
Peter Stevens, you know him?
Yes.
He hasn't been around for a couple of months. I looked him up in the directory. I couldn't get a hold of him. He was no answer. Maybe somebody could check on him because he's always come to the lectures.
Okay. Right. Yeah. No. There's been the people. You could go next door to the events person and go and ask Pam. Go and ask Pam about him. She knows something about him.
Where do I go?
Just to that office right over there.
Okay.
Go down the hall and make a left and talk to Pam.
All right, thanks.
And ask about Peter.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thanks, David. Okay, Sizzle Biscuits. David just left. You know who he is. We don't. But he left. So okay. This game is still up in the air. I'm not really sure what's going on. White is doing a little bit of consolidating and maybe can start some kind of counterplay with Rook G8 check. But what a torturous game this has been in a lot of ways to play over and watch. But we're going to go back up to board one, which was totally exciting after 96 check. Black decided not to take with the pawn, but took with the bishop. And after d takes e6, he's still up a piece and brings his rook into play and defends e7 check with rook a7. White has one pawn for the piece, and by playing f4, g5 is defended now, and white can play queen takes b4. So I think that's maybe one of the points of white's play. And also maybe just to play f5, and black is restricted and has to watch out for all kinds of tricks here. Very interesting. g6 is impossible because of queen d4, forking the rooks at a7 and h8. Black could be in trouble here. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. Rook e7, so he brings the rook into the defense, and white can probably play ef7 and queen takes b4. Although f5 is the natural move here for white. f5 is you know. Hey, Chile. Paulo from Chile. Paulo from Chile.
Very nice.
Yeah,
They're
man.
looking for the foreign country.
Yeah. Hello, Paulo. So rookie 7. Okay, we're looking at this is the eighth board, eighth round of the Tuesday night marathon, and
I gotta watch things up.
okay, yeah, our tournament director has to go out there and make sure that people aren't hurting themselves. Well, you think Black has lost here? You were in mechanics. Okay, great. You know, that's fantastic. Yeah, this is, we want to come down and visit you. We are in Chile. All right. F5 looks like it might keep the pressure on. This is definitely a position fraught with danger. F5 and F6, that kind of thinking here. All right, let's move on to board 2, Winslow Chambers, which was looking good for Black. After Bishop B4, White retreated Queen C1, and Knight E3, Knight E3. Oh, well, wait a minute. Okay, this happened. Oh. Mistakes were made on the DGT boards. I'm not sure. There's some problem here with the DGT technology. Obviously, this is not the position. After Knight E3, Queen C1, Rook, White would have played Rook takes C1, and Black would have played Bishop D2. So these, instead we got this. Black would have played Bishop takes E3 and not Bishop C3. So we're having trouble with the DGT technology here. Maybe we'll get back to this game and see if it works itself out. Sodakova versus Wong. Queen H5 was played. After Knight D7, Queen H5. Bishop takes E5, D takes E5. So White's managed to unbalance the position a little and sort of get an attacking, but an attacking posture on the king side, and given time might be able to play Rook D3 and Rook G3, but Black has Queen E4 here. That just looks very good to me. Putting the queen right in the center and threatening the bishop and attacking the C pawn, and White looks like she might have overextended herself a little bit. Queen E4 is played. I don't know if you want to give if White wanted to give Black this move. This looks like a very strong move to me. White could have taken on E5 with the bishop, or maybe just not gone in for this at all. I'm favoring Black here. Let's move on. Ivanov and Shaw. This game was looking fine for Black. Was looking good for Black. Okay, we were here. Knight takes B4, Bishop B4, Knight B5. A good square for the knight. Rook D8. Challenging the D file, centralizing and more centralizing, and roughly balanced. Unless somebody has a knockout move here, this looks like a roughly balanced position. Hard to say. Okay, Lynn and Melville. This game where Black was pressuring White with the double pawns. Took that bishop on D3. Now, folks back home, why Black would exchange this strong knight on e5 for that dull bishop on d3. I'm not really sure. On the other hand, white's, set for f4 and e5, so something like that. So maybe this is not, maybe it was circumspect. And black, of course, has another knight that can come to e5 or a5. Still looking good for black. Superficially, anyway. Walter, this game was Tactics City here. Bishop c4, black played rook b8, bishop d5, and then took there on c5. So it hasn't, okay. White's going to have to give back. Yeah. I'm silent because I'm thinking. Interesting. If white plays pawn takes knight, rook takes queen, bishop takes queen, black is actually. White has a rook and two bishops for a queen, but rook b8 puts him on the spot because it'd be hard to maintain that extra piece, but that extra bishop. But it might be able to be done if white can have a rook and two bishops for a queen. That would be enough here. But otherwise, white is getting a little bit of difficulty here. For example, queen c4, rook takes b4. That looks completely unplayable. I'm not sure that white is able to hold things together here, but maybe queen d1 or queen c2. That's the move that seems to. Queen c2. Okay, queen c2. Rook b4, bishop can go back to a2 or something. Black has some then rook b2. Okay, so queen c2, rook b4, bishop c4. If bishop a2, rook takes b2, queen b2, knight d3 check. So queen c2, if e d5, b takes c5. Okay, black is a piece down, folks. You might be getting a pawn or two for it, but that's that. Otherwise, queen c2, rook b4, bishop c4, and looks like white is in the driver's seat. Okay, so okay, Cesar, do you want to look at your game really quick?
I gave him a tempo.
Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
Cesar, this is Cesar Tamandong.
Hey, everybody.
This is not the Mechanics Institute chess room director, Abel Telementes. Let's go over your game really quickly.
Yeah, I gave him a tempo.
Let's see what happened.
Man.
It looked to me like you weren't doing too well.
I got
in
behind.
This game.
I got behind.
Let's see. First of all, let's go to here. After c5, I think g3 lacks a little. You don't want to. He's trying to trade his wing pawn for your center pawn, right? So d5 here, right? Or maybe c4 grabbing a bit of the center.
Yeah, I got behind.
g3. This is good for black.
Yeah, I gave him all kinds of space, and I started to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So
black can even waste time.
Yeah, I was
h6.
compelled to play c4, sack a pawn to try to get space, but he just pushes, and I'm just behind trying to scramble, trade.
Yeah. One move you could play here instead of b3, by the way, is b4. You could look at that.
Okay.
Because if he takes with the bishop, you can play knight takes e5, knight e5, queen a4 check.
Okay. I get the tactics. Okay.
If he plays knight b4, you play knight e5. If he plays e4, you can go back to d2 and then be prepared to it gets messy. But
yeah, I'd rather have messy than just getting squeezed here. Here, I'm just fighting to survive.
This is bad, and even though black took a lot of time and might have played better, he's still just kind of sitting on you,
Yeah, I'm just getting squished here.
and that yeah, you're getting squished. Is
Yeah, I
right.
have nothing going on here. I'm just trying to just.
H3 is weakening.
Yeah, I was
So-
worried about knight G4. That's the only reason why, because he's just coming in, here, and then he takes, and then he trades the queen.
Yeah, just Queen H5 would be plenty strong here.
Okay, queen H5. Do I have bishop F3 or doesn't work?
Well, you can swing back to A5
Yeah,
or something.
okay.
I mean, it's just he's won a pawn,
Yeah.
and your position, and he's got that passed pawn at
Yeah,
D3.
that sucks.
But he played G3, and
Queen
now
C3.
Queen
Then he
H5
traded.
is maybe not quite.
Did
as
he trade?
good.
Did he trade?
Yeah,
queens? I think he's better.
No.
He's better here. I'm just that's I forgot about knight D4, and that's just rough. I mean, I really
I'm
can't.
not sure what he's threatening, but
Because if I take the queen, if I take queen takes D3, he's got that tactic
he's
shot.
got Rook D1. That would win
Rook
another
D1,
piece.
and I'm just
that would win. Then
that
threatening
passer
Rook
is just
D2.
brutal. So
Queen D3, Rook D1. I think
yeah,
wins.
this is over.
But maybe you could. Yeah, probably.
I rip off his B pawn, but it's just I got too many.
Knight F1.
That's just loses on demand.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know where else to go here. I'm here and it's over. I got nothing else going on. So.
Well, he maybe took a lot of time in the opening, but it kind of paid off. Your opening, you didn't get out of the opening really alive.
Yeah, I got to go back here because.
Okay. Actually, I never transitioned. You transitioned. Yeah, you're not able to element it. You're still not able to element it.
They never will be.
No. So right here.
Good night. Good night, Quintansley. And we haven't heard from Miss Starry. Miss Starry.
Yeah,
she's been dormant.
Yeah.
She's sleeping in Italy.
Let me go back.
She in Italy?
Yeah, Italy right now.
Wow. Wow.
Can I go back to the beginning?
Yeah. Okay.
There's-
Here we. Well, let me get the DGT board.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
Yeah. So right about.
Let's
Okay,
go.
So it's. Okay. So here.
Okay. First of all, you could go back to B3.
Go
as
B3.
possible.
Just suck it up.
Well, yeah, but black is doing well. Is I think doing well here now. Maybe C4.
Yeah. So back to the beginning here. I get sick of this crap right here. With this early C5, it's kind of chicken shit. Pardon my language.
Pardon your French.
I'm irritated. So D5.
Well, okay. So the thing that's speaking loudly to me here is that he's trying to trade his C pawn for your D pawn, right? And then he's going to have that pawn steamroller in the center with D5 and E5, and you're not really in a position. Usually white would play D5 here, or C3 maybe. C3 would be a kind of a collie way to play it, right? Where you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, C3.
D5, E3, or C3 are the moves, depending on your temperament or what kind of opening you like. D5 is a kind of a Benoni, right? A Benoni King's Indian / King's Indian move, right? For if you played pawn to D5, right? You could also possibly play D takes C5. The main thing is to get some kind of stake in the center. What happened was here is that's a very positive move on his part. This is probably in the books still, and again C4 here, maybe trying to make some play in the center. But it seems to me black's getting.
So if I play c4, then I prevent d5. I'm worried.
Well, you're not preventing
I'm
it.
preventing it, but at least I'm opening.
Putting a stake in the center.
Yeah, instead of having a pawn in d5,
Right.
just leave the pawn in c4. And here it's
And
just.
this is not okay. So you could play pawn to
Checking here.
You could think about playing pawn e3 here.
Okay, just try to contest the center.
You need to contest the center.
Okay.
Right, I think, and
Or-
I had that radical idea of playing b4 in this
Okay.
position. You could look at that at home. I bet you this position has been seen before, but you could also play e3 because if he tries to play e4 and d3, for example, right, you're gonna play knight e1 and f3, and you're just gonna start trying to slash at those pawns
And I have
right
enough-
away,
I have enough
and the
of that.
other knight can come to c3 or something like that. So you know you need to do something, right?
Okay.
The more you just sit and do nothing, you know,
Just giving him tempos for
you're
nothing.
giving, and black is just getting such a nice position here, and I don't know why he did this delayed, but even that didn't harm him, right? And he's just
I'm
got
just trying
such
to,
a
I'm just
grip.
trying to just.
He's got such a grip, and h3, you know.
Good night, G4 is coming. I have nothing much here, so.
All right, man.
All right. No,
right,
this was
Caesar.
an extra game, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
You'll live to fight another day, man.
Yeah, I'll get
Yeah.
through this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll slit my next opponent's throat. So.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna go to board. Let's go to back to board one. Rook e7 was played here. F5 takes, and now Andy Lee is thinking.
No worries, man. Yeah, let me see the stock certificates. Everything else is all right. Okay. Yeah, just those. Yeah, I'll fix this.
So you would think that white would play f takes e6. Hey guys, don't be too loud over there because I can't hear myself. It's all right. Looks like f takes e6, opening the f file for an attack. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking about either here in this position. White has pressure here. Black finds it a little bit hard to untangle with the knight there. Hi Daniel, thanks for being back. I don't know what White's thinking about, but let's move on. Juan, we were having a problem on the DGT on the. Watch this one, if you've got time.
Winslow, right?
Yeah, Winslow.
He just went to check it out. I think they're doing something.
A lot of strange moves were played here. What's happening? What's the position on the board?
Oh,
It can't be this.
No.
Yeah.
Go to another game.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not even going to bother with this game. Sotokova.
Paul, we have board 9.
Okay.
Inquiring, was he better or not? Because I think it was a draw.
Straight to a draw.
Oh, okay. Okay. G5. This was your game.
This is my
And
game.
tell me what happened as a result of this game? Did you win first place?
No, I was. If Ala loses, which it looks like right now, she's a bit worse. Then Mansour will be first by himself.
Okay.
And I will be second by myself.
Daniel Perlov says hello.
Oh,
so this was kind of a good result for you and for your opponent, right? Yeah.
Well, if I won, I would have been
Right.
first by myself. But
well,
look, I got a lot of luck this whole tournament. So
you're not doing particularly great here,
I thought it was a lot worse actually.
I don't think you're worse. Okay, so Grandmaster draw. Oh, black play d takes e4. Okay,
that's the recommended move for black.
Is that what he played?
No. We agreed on the draw after the repetition of moves.
Oh, okay. So d takes e4 was not played.
No.
Okay. Well, let's go back. Let's go back and look at your game. I don't think. Let's see what's happened here. I'm not a great expert on opening theory, but I'm going to give you some feedback. So normally, I would think that white would have a nice game here, but when you play knight c3, you're saying when he plays bishop g4, like already we can see that you're going to have to take back with the pawn. So possibly in this position, you could play h3.
Right.
That's usually I wouldn't recommend that, but like, but if bishop g4 is coming in this exchange, it's something you might want or not want, depends on the situation.
Right.
Okay. So knight c3, bishop g4, bishop e3, b5, and then a little bit awkward for you if you go back. You know, in any case, I think black having been able to play bishop g4 has helped black.
Right.
Somebody wants to know how Daniel Perloff wants to know how his dad is doing. Am I supposed to go run in there and check him out? Maybe I can do that and give you a.
You have a job around here, right?
Yeah, that's my job. So okay, and queen d2 is played. Bishop f3, gf3, knight a5. This is the first really strange move.
Rook c1.
Yeah, I mean because I would imagine you could move your other. There's lots of moves that seem to me like white plays f4 maybe, or plays bishop h6.
Yeah, but
bishop h6, or plays f4, or plays d5 to play bishop d4. I don't think d5 is so great. Also, I think black is wanting to play maybe rook f1, but rook c1. I don't like this move.
Well, so I'm anticipating at some point that the bishop on b3 is going to go, right? He takes the knight, takes the bishop on b3.
Well, maybe, so black is sitting, he can do it or not do it, depending on what he wants, unless you decide to move your bishop.
But I need to have some play. I can't really move that bishop so easily. I mean, then he comes to c4 and I have to give up my dark square bishop.
Right.
Which is also, so one of the two bishops is.
What about the other rook going to c1?
Well, if he takes on b3,
then you're going to have the rook on the a file.
Right, and then I have some pressure on a6.
I like so because of all these things he might take, he might not take. Then I don't like the rook move, and I like maybe just playing f4 here and saying, hey, like I can't stop him taking on b3. If he does take on b3, that rook is there. I'm not sure that what's going to happen on the c file. Maybe I'd play something like f4.
What's the follow-up after f4?
Maybe f5, possibly, and trying to, or king h1 and f5.
King h1 makes sense. Yeah, trying to open up.
Yeah, and see what black does, just gain some space. If black plays f5 himself, you could then play maybe e5 or f3 or something like that. I mean, it's a thought. I'm not saying, the other possibility is to get rid of that dark squared bishop and play bishop h6 yourself.
Right.
Maybe.
And then my queen is hanging out there, maybe not doing very much.
Well, it might be, nobody wants their queen right in their position like that if he takes bishop h6.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure. This move that seems to go nowhere. The move that you played, this rook c1, seems to just go nowhere.
And I was hoping to pressure on the c file and perhaps play d5 and knight d4.
Well, if he plays you play d5, he's going to play c5.
Yeah, I mean it depends on sort of what.
So he chose this, which is kind of I'm not sure that this was the right plan for black, but in any case, black seems to have a good game, and this, this was determined a lot by just the standing. Both players have a lot to lose if they lose the game, so it makes sense. Yeah, what happened?
Thanks for the
It wasn't so bad. Good game. And congratulations on a good tournament.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And Lady Fortuna was with me.
Lady Fortuna. Yeah. So, Yeah. What was your final score?
Was it 5.5? Or is it a half point behind?
5.5 out of 8.
Yeah, and I had one bye and one loss. And,
Terrific.
And one draw.
Terrific. And 5 wins?
Right.
Yeah.
Or was it 4 wins?
4 wins, 5 wins. Who's counting? Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm going to take Abel. I'm going to take a 5-minute break if I can. Would you like to sit here?
I have to deal with some. Just do the break.
Okay, I'm going to. So, Juan, I'm going to take a break. So, what should I transition to? Do you have a good? Starting soon. Be right back.
Yeah, it's close to.
Yeah.
And then go to
Starting soon. Be right back.
take down. And then
Okay, folks, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. And I'm going to turn the volume down. Oops. everyone. We're back in the Mechanics Institute Chess Club Round 8 round. And I want to congratulate the winner of the AB section.
Thank you.
Mansour Mohammed, who won, I'm pronouncing your name
Yeah, Mansour, yeah.
Mansour Mohammed won the AB section. Congratulations.
Thank
we looked
you.
at your game. You were never in trouble, I think, and this final position. You're doing
I
fine.
couldn't evaluate that, so I just thought of the
And a draw
should-
suited you fine. So,
But I didn't know the other game. Sorry?
We have your name.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank you.
So you can say, thank you, Juan. Thank you, Juan. Okay. So congratulations.
Thank you, Bob.
What's your what was your rating before this?
It was 1770, and now I don't know how much.
Maybe
is my
2,000.
Oh no, that's too much, too ambitious.
Well, I don't know. No. I think you're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Are you going to play in the next tournament?
Yeah.
You're going to play. Are you going to play in the open section or the same section?
Oh yeah, you'll have the option.
Yeah, I do, because you remember on the second round I met you and asked for the open tournament, but my rating was 1700 and you said difference of
Yeah,
200.
you have to be 1800.
Yeah, and I thought my rating was 1800, but it was 1770. So
I think, you've won this section, so I think we should let you play in the as an automatic.
Or we can let him know that the new rule that once he crosses 18, the initiations that he must play in the open section.
Actually, I have another assistant, or what do you say? He's my
Training
man.
partner.
Yeah, so he's a national master, and apparently he's my brother-in-law. So he wanted to play next.
He's going to play in the next
he's gonna
tournament.
play in the next
great.
August 5th Open. So
August
he'll be
6th.
joining me. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. So probably I'll shift to AB section because I don't want to merge with him. And
No, you should play in there.
That's an excuse, man.
Daniel, I just saw, I'm talking to Daniel Perlov here. Daniel, I watched, your dad is doing fine. It's a complicated middle game position.
Is it Gaziz?
No, Daniel Perlov.
Right, is his dad?
No, his dad is, what's his dad's, what's the Perlov? It's also Perlov. It's another Perlov.
Right.
No, Gaziz is not, is too young, I think, to be,
Okay. Yeah.
Gaziz is out there.
Yeah, I didn't know Gaziz's match was gonna be dramatic because
Alexander Perlov.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I played Alexander.
How'd you do?
I mean, this was
In this
Alexander,
tournament.
right?
Oh, this is Hubert.
Hubert's, okay.
Right.
Okay.
But Daniel Perlov is asking about how his dad, Alexander Perlov, is doing, and they're still still playing.
Right.
It's a middle game, complicated position.
Right.
He won. I just saw the game. How could he have already won? Alexander Perlov. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
you're talking
won.
about
That's
something
what
else.
he's saying.
All right. Let's go back. We've looked at your game. I don't think it was. Do you have any questions about it?
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We have to interact with the DGT boards.
Oh.
We have all these kind of special things that we have to do.
Right.
Boom. There we go.
Right. Yeah, it was a short and simple game, but there were a lot of attempts I tried, but I couldn't, I don't know where I went. I mean, this was just an opening mistake I felt from my opponent where he just left my bishop.
You big.
Yeah,
we thought he could have played H3 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this line I'm playing for the first time. Basically, I have never played this line. I just saw a couple of games before the match because Rai Lopez has been my favorite, and my opponent's first move was E4 every time. So I thought of going for Rai Lopez, but then I was always scared of the F5 knight, so I was always thinking it may end up in a draw. So why not just play this way and just end up in a draw?
I'm not sure what the current theory is on this.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Black can also play D5, right? Is that another way? Is that another way to play for Black to play D5?
Yeah, D5 could have been an option, but if he pushes inside. if he plays e5. And
I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
So I just
then
want to
play
play
bishop
safe.
g4 maybe.
Yeah, so then I think knight bd2 should have been the proper move.
But then knight takes d4.
But his knight is on f3, right?
But you have if white plays knight bd2
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That pawn is hanging, right? So I think the right move.
Maybe h3. It's slow, but maybe it's possible.
Yeah, or first bishop e3, and then still the bishop is gonna come over there.
To
and
g4,
then,
yeah.
Yeah, so.
So maybe you have full equality after he plays bishop e3
Yeah.
or knight c3, whatever he played.
So yeah, here I think the right move is knight takes d4. So that is.
Okay.
I think so. So I
All right,
don't know.
you can always look it up in the
Yeah,
book and find
right.
out. Okay,
Yeah.
I think black looks like he's okay here.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
then here I had lot of options like straight away pushing f5 or move my king
Right.
h to h8, but then I didn't want his bishop to take
To
my
have
knight.
options is the best thing in chess.
Yeah, exactly. There were a lot of
it's
options
fantastic.
here. Yeah, but I really got confused. Like I was thinking a lot, and I finally thought, okay, I'll just.
This was a good plan.
Yeah.
I thought this was a fine plan.
Yeah, but then-
Chase the bishop.
Right, but then again, this diagonal it again takes, so I had no other move. I wanted to play f5 from so long because his e4 pawn is very weak, and
Uh-huh.
then this knight is all pinned, and then d4 pawn is again hanging. So I just thought of playing this way, and then yeah, he just tried to defend.
I guess you
as
could
well.
also play. Knight a5 maybe.
Yeah, I thought of that too. Straight away knight a5.
Possible.
And then, yeah. There were a lot of options. But,
Yeah.
And I'm nowadays liking my game in black because I'm playing the attacking way in black, and in
That's
white
a good
it's,
way to play.
Yeah, in white
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like getting little bit.
And
stuck in-
this
Yeah.
looked fine for me. This looked just perfect.
Yeah.
Now he can't keep the two bishops.
Right.
You can play
I should have
f5.
taken the bishop at some point, but I didn't really.
So
I
this
didn't
is a
expect
bad
it.
move.
Oh, it's a bad
I
move.
think, well, I think so.
Right.
And white should probably play f4 maybe, or
Yeah, I
bishop
was-
h6 or something.
Yeah, I was
simple.
thinking all those things, but this move was new to me as well. But then I don't know what he was trying to achieve, but
He couldn't explain it clearly to me.
oh,
either.
he did an interview.
Well, he did, but he couldn't explain it very clearly.
Okay.
So I think rook c1 is just, it's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
It's-
here I wanted to play queen d7 and come to the h3
Sure.
place and then do
Or
something.
maybe
but then,
play f5.
yeah, but whatever I play here, his only plan is knight e2 and knight f4 or something like knight g3.
Right.
But knight g3 will always lead to that h pawn to just march forward and then attack his knight at some point, and it will be a bad position for white. So knight on f4, I didn't have control for the knight on f4, and then that knight is always gonna stay there. So. And
Very
then this-
conservative move. rook
Yeah,
c1.
exactly. So that
And-
was the
and-
only problem I had.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you play, this is, I can see that
Yeah,
you have certain difficulties.
Yeah, I
too.
did have some problems here because
Mhm.
once his bishop is on h6, he's definitely gonna take that bishop and let his knight sit on f5, f4. So.
And if you take on b3, he has a little pressure down the a
Yeah,
file.
so yeah, this move felt like bad move, but it was like
Right,
kind of okay for him. to
I
stay.
like what you did.
sorry,
Oh,
yeah,
no, go ahead. I
Yeah.
like what you did.
So-
C6, temporize, defends your knight.
Yeah, exactly.
And sort of says, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I knew he was gonna come here. I thought all those moves, but here I thought going queen b6 for some reason, but then he pushes d5, I push c5, and then that stays like that, and my queen is all stuck over here, and his things is all stuck over here.
Maybe you could play knight b3 here.
Knight b3. Yeah, I wanted to take that at some point, but I didn't know. Like once I take that, both the rook files are open. I need to keep defending my both pawns, and then the knight
It's
will always.
not easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
And then at any point the queen comes to b6, he pushes d5 and I push c4, and it stays like that for some time, and then I have to open up my f file, and then it will again be complicated. But f file is again, I can't take the pawn because he takes takes f takes
Right.
e4, so then it's always gonna stay the same. So I didn't have clear idea.
And also, b7 is a terrible square for a knight.
I know that. Yeah.
You know, g2,
Yeah,
b7,
right.
b2, g7.
Yeah.
Try not to put your knight.
Right, but I wanted to come to d6, so that's
Right,
the reason
yeah.
why I put, because this pawn is very weak once the knight moved from c3 to there. So
And this again, I like this move because you can play knight c4 now.
yeah,
as
I
well.
saw these moves before, but I wasn't sure where exactly I was going. So this move again was a bad move. I felt I didn't know what the rook was gonna do there. Once
White is playing a negative strategy.
Exactly,
He's
but
not
still,
playing to win, he's white. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
You have to take if you were in a situation where you had to win,
right,
you would have had to take some chances.
correct. I wanted to do that, but yeah, I was a little scared.
But you don't have to do it because you're winning the tournament.
Yeah, and I didn't know the other person, Ella Papnik, was gonna. I mean, I didn't see her game because if she wins, it would have been a tight first. I was okay with that too.
Right.
But then after the match, I saw her match, and then I realized that she was losing. So I was really happy. Okay,
So this is a good situation for you.
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
good situation. You're better.
Yeah.
Maybe, or you're not. It's not that you're better, but White is playing a game that has a negative quality
Correct, and
to it.
he wants me to attack basically.
Exactly.
So I could have done that, but I just didn't want to take my chances and just stay. But here I got knight f4.
But you kept your head and
Yeah, I
played
did.
into the tournament situation, which was very good.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
so you did the right thing.
Yeah, but here I don't know if I could have gone knight c4 and just blocked the rook, but then it would have again.
Maybe he would take and then play b3.
b3, yeah, that was a thing. I didn't know if I can trap the rook somehow, but I just was short
I
of
don't
moves.
see a
because-
way.
Yeah, so that's why it was just a draw.
I don't know why that move was played. It wasn't
didn't
played by.
happen,
Congratulations,
Thank you,
and you have had the correct attitude towards the
Right.
tournament.
Thank you.
Chess is a competitive. It's very. You can lose your head.
Yeah.
And start to make
fumble
mistakes.
and
You have to take into account so many things when you're playing.
Yeah.
Your own mood, the tournament situation, your opponent, what he's playing like.
Yeah.
So many things, but you
Yeah, I just
Did
didn't
what
want.
you had
Yeah, I
to
follow
do.
a lot of sports like tennis and football and all that.
tennis
In
and chess is so
Exactly.
similar.
So Federer just lost. He's my favorite. So he just lost. He loses Federer.
Oh, yeah.
He just loses the final round every time, no matter what.
Now
in
he
Grand Slam.
does,
So
yeah.
So I just didn't want to do like. So it's a bad
Right.
comparison though. But
I think the comparison to chess and tennis is very.
Yeah.
You have two players.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever has white has to serve.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
exactly.
It's very similar.
And the knight goes like a serve, like a L shape, which is like a you hit the
that's it.
forehand or
Yeah,
the backhand,
yeah.
so it just goes in that
So
direction.
chess and tennis.
Yeah, they are very. And
Do you wanna-
Bishop is like a cross court winner.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm hearing
Do you play tennis?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
okay.
I'm from San Jose.
tennis language.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
tennis
go
language.
to courts. I mean tennis courts
Right.
in and around there over the
Okay.
weekends, and yeah, it's always fun to play tennis.
Yeah, you can lose your head. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Says Sizzle Biscuit.
Yeah, they are saying I played.
You
his
played
dad. Yeah, that's what I was
Perloff.
talking.
Perloff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's an Alexander Huberts and there's an
Right.
Alexander Perloff.
Oh, okay, got you.
Perloff
Yeah,
is an older man.
Yeah, I defeated him in round 4 or 3, I believe. Yeah.
You're just, yeah.
Yeah, he was very strong too, but he just blundered in the last.
I think I remember that game somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to stay and look at some of
Sure,
these
yeah,
other
I'd
games?
love to review the games.
Yeah.
of other
On
players.
board 1, we have Andy Lee
Right.
versus Karen Griffith in it. Okay, so this was King G8 was played, Rook H4, G6, and it looks to me
Black
like
is winning, right?
well, White has chances. I mean,
Because he lost the knight in the initial. I mean, he lost the piece.
it was
in
a
the initial,
sacrifice.
Yeah. I
Russo versus Chan, I don't know yet who won that game. Oh, is this Russo over here?
Yeah.
Are you Russo?
Blundered it away, man.
Oh,
Completely
no.
winning position.
Oh, no.
You know how.
Can we? Can
Yeah,
I have,
sure.
Okay. All right. Because this is one of the things we're doing here is getting a.
Yeah.
Man, you look like you just had him.
I had him.
Let's see. I'm gonna take. I have to take Mansour's name off of here if I can find it. I have a whole Here we go.
No worries.
Boom. Boom. Okay, I'm here with, let's see. Yeah, let's get back to the DGT boards. Okay, here's the DGT boards. All right, you had him dead to rights. He played a bad game, a really bad game.
Yeah, I completely. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
True.
Do you know who Sizzle Biscuits is, by the way?
No, I don't.
Neither do I. But
hey, Sizzle Biscuits.
Okay, so let's go. All right.
Wait.
Oh no! This is not your game. Okay, let's go all the way down here. Okay. So first of all, this is a pretty poor, unless it has a certain strategy. Yeah, I know you're black, but we don't like H3.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a waste.
And White's playing without plan or ambition. For example, A3 is prevent knight b4, but he could have played bishop out, and if knight b4, rook c1. So we're playing some pretty amateurish moves here with White. To go back though really quickly right here, when White blocks his c pawn, you don't have to do the same, right? You could play e6, which is a move you're going to play anyway, and then think C5. About playing c5. Yeah. So in chess, you kind of play the moves you're going to play anyway first, and then go to the. Okay, so but
hey Daniel,
but yeah. So this happened. Things are, okay, a6, and that's maybe to prevent him from trying to take
the knight or the bishop.
But again, black could have castled. If knight b5, you can go back bishop e7 if you don't want your bishop taken at g6, and then you can kick that knight away at a6. So unnecessary moves here, I think, on both sides.
Okay.
Queen e7, bishop h4.
Yeah, I didn't get that move.
That move is completely illogical. After h6, you're threatening g5, and which would force bishop g3 and destroy his pawn structure. So White feels compelled to take here.
What do you think of taking with?
You could have taken with the queen, but
I just thought.
But you've got a good game with the two bishops. But I'm balancing the position more with that is not bad.
Okay,
Queen g2.
And then immediately I threatened king side.
Yeah, the problem is that it made it, you could play b5 and, I don't know, let's see, rook g8 and now g4, bishop. And that was, you could also play bishop h7.
Yeah, I just thought it was a little passive.
Right.
I don't like to
and
go
White,
back.
White plays rook f1 to get out of the pin when he could have played rook g1, right, which would have been, a whole lot of bad moves were played here by White. And a whole string of them. F5, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is just bad play on White's part. I think even taking there and then the knight goes back to g1. It's like.
This is where I started to take advantage a little bit. Funny, Daniel.
Threatening queen g2, right? Bishop f1. Now, this is just horrible.
I can't believe I let this go to waste. It's so embarrassing. So first sacrifice.
Yeah, we weren't
convinced.
You could play f5 here with a big positional, you could just play f5. So knight e4, okay. So you can't take with the pawn because of bishop f4, but what about taking with the queen?
Yeah.
What exactly? You could play bishop h2 maybe.
Yeah, to win the knight.
And to try to win the knight. But he plays just queen e4. I'm not convinced that you got anything by doing that.
I get too, caught up in, wanting to be flashy.
So king b1. And now
this was a big blunder.
Now you could just move your knight. You could be like, "Hey, I won a pawn."
This is where it started to go wrong.
Yeah, bishop a3.
Because the rook is aligned with the queen, so I was thinking a lot of discoveries.
What I was thinking is White should just play pawn takes knight.
Yeah. Then I realized you can just accept the first sacrifice, not
but playing queen c3, that looked bad. And I'm not sure if the computer wouldn't find a forced win for Black here. Something like knight b5, maybe? What about knight b5? I'm not sure. But anyway, bishop b2, spectacular move. But of course he could... yeah. There's just a lot of questions around these moves here.
Yeah. I mean, his where his king is his king is very open, kind of, but
yeah, and you've got 3 pawns. Okay,
yeah.
so knight c6, rook d8, and he's all tangled up here.
Yeah.
Moved his rook, knight, and bishop back and forth, and they're all in the original square. It's just like
classic.
Yeah. Okay, knight e2.
Yeah.
Now, why didn't you play rook d1 check?
Rook d1 check.
Yeah, just get that rook on right in the back, right in his throat. Like.
Well, he just brings the knight and blocks.
I know, but your rook is sitting there on the 7th, on the right
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, that's one of my reactions. Knight a5, okay. Knight c3. I don't see anything obvious for either player. Now, queen f5. Attacks f2.
Yeah. But then he attacks the knight, so I'm stuck.
Right. You could play rook d2 here.
Yeah.
Rook d2 looks strong. Rook d6 coming there, but then where do you go from there?
That was decent. And then here's where it kind of gets interesting because his queen's on this diagonal where if I move the rook, I start to get checked, and then he takes on f7, another check, so it's just like a little uncomfortable. So
rook d1 check, king b2. I don't see any. Okay, all right. Rook d1, king b2, knight c4, bishop c4, rook h1, queen f8 check. Yeah, there's some difficulties there. Yeah, be nice to have a little a safety for your king, but you could. All right, so knight c6, you go back.
Yeah, I wanted to free up the queen so it doesn't have to babysit the.
They're looking at knight b3 check, but then queen b3.
Wait,
I'm sure that
at
it
what?
works. Somebody's looking at knight b3 check here for black.
Yeah, that
I would
crossed my
find
mind.
some way to make this. I don't know. Maybe play.
I don't want to move the king. It just seems like a waste of a.
Well, it does, but if you've got the time and he doesn't, you might be able to. Okay, knight c6, king b1, and your queen goes back to f5, rook h2, knight e5, rook g2.
Yeah, I kind of underestimated how painful the sequence of moves. I didn't see that was a threat. I didn't see that after I played c6. I didn't realize that was a big threat. So I have to give up the knight, and then I just tried to go for a draw, but eventually he was able to get out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was lost. Yeah, where it started to get wrong was the bishop.
I think you should take. This is a good game for you to take a closer look at. You really could have. I think you could have nailed him on numerous occasions.
Yeah, and that would have won me the tournament.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the.
He got lucky. He got I think he definitely got lucky.
Yeah.
But did you win any prize?
Yeah, I'm probably get third. Yeah,
So
but split it with people, so basically cover my Caltrain ticket up here for like 2 days worth.
Okay.
But
well, I mean that's there's a lot of
better than nothing.
Nobody said there was a lot of money in chess.
Yeah, it's true.
So we're playing for the love of the game, most of us,
and to learn.
And but you should go over this maybe with the help of the computer at home and just see if like you missed some kind of 2-move obvious thing or something like that, or bring it back and show me next time. Like I missed this and da 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 da.
I mean,
Actually, it's on Chess 24.
Yeah,
so
for everyone to see.
You can just go on Chess 24 when you get, or even right now on your phone, you could look up and see, if you missed something here or there,
Yeah,
But
I'll check it out.
is this your first chess tournament?
It's my second or.
You did really. So you're doing really good. I mean, yeah. This is. Yeah, John Chan is a old hand at this. He's played, I mean, like literally, the guy's probably played.
He's been around
1,000 chess games, chess tournament chess games, if not more. So he's getting over these, playing some of these old timers and being able to beat them every time is like a good goal for you.
True, definitely. Is there any big tournaments coming up that I should know about?
We have another tournament. This tournament 9 rounds is starting on August 6th.
It's also Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday night marathon starts again on August 6th. You can go to chessclub.org and find out our whole tournament calendar. Okay, the Bagby.
Reese lost.
Bagby.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I know there's hundreds of tournaments. I meant here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess there's.
Bagby and Pefnudi have our next tournaments, and you can just go to chessclub.org and find that. Where do you live?
I actually live in Campbell in the South Bay near San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, so I take Caltrain up.
Right. Yeah, definitely come and play in the next Tuesday night. You like these?
I really like it. Yeah, it's a great way to spend Tuesday night. What else are you doing on Tuesday night?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, come back for the next one. You probably gained a bunch of rating points.
Yeah. When does that go through? Immediately.
You guys a little.
Okay. When is the next rating?
The rating?
Yeah, like he wants to know
when do the new ratings come out after this.
We're gonna submit the tournament tomorrow. You'll probably see it by late tomorrow afternoon.
And you'll get your new rating.
Okay, sweet.
Right.
Yeah, Judith hasn't jumped on. Yeah, so Judith, she's a monster.
Oh, your provisional rating was 1889, so you're not even going to be able to play in this section.
Well, the provisional rating is that after
That's
this
what
loss,
he says.
right?
I'm not
Yeah, that's
sure.
what it said on the.
You won.
No, I lost this game, so I finished in, I guess, third. But
but you were unrated, so your rating is bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. So anyway, it'll be
not sure.
interesting.
Don't worry about your rating. Just worry about your play. Your rating will follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last thing, is it you that does the seminar before the tournament?
No, that's Nick DeFermian. Nick DeFermian, he's a grandmaster.
Okay, so he'll do that for the next Tuesday night.
Yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And we have classes and stuff. I know it's a long way to come up here, but Nick teaches a free class.
I have family here, so
yeah. Nick teaches a free class on Wednesday, and I teach a class on Thursday where we go over Tuesday night games. There's I don't know. Come as often as you can and play chess here, and look forward to seeing you.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you so much for the
I'm glad
analysis.
this was all a positive experience for you.
Yeah, learning experience for sure.
Okay.
Later, Daniel.
All right. This is 1252 from 1040 in one tournament for me.
I think that's him. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Well, we'll keep progressing.
Okay. Yeah. We're all trying to get.
Have a good night.
All right.
Easy.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the next one. We'll see you around then.
I don't think I can afford it next time. So.
If that wasn't an issue, would you do it?
No, the issue is that I first had to figure out how to pay my rent. So I don't know.
Okay. Back up to board one.
The cost wasn't an issue. Would you play?
No, but I'm saying is
We're gonna go and see what happened here. Rook d4
it would not
played king h7. Rook d6. So Andy now has 2 pawns for a piece, but Black is starting to free his game a little bit and threatens Queen A1 mate. And B1 is played, and now the rook at.
I probably won't.
So.
Stuff I gotta get to them upstairs, but we'll take a look at it and then I'll go through it with you.
Black is trying to eliminate the pawn at e6, d7, queen f5, and now Andy is thinking. So if queen b4, rook d7, that rook d5, white does better to try to keep some pieces on the board. This is a very complicated position here. Queen g4. I mean, I'm at a loss. I think white's struggling here a little bit to keep the balance. But definitely the onus is on him to try to prove that he's got something here. Yeah. It does look tough for white. Oh, rook e6. Is this a shot? If rook f5, rook e1 check, followed by gf5. Yep. Yeah, man, you're on TV. So if rook takes f5, rook e1 check, king a2, gf5, and white needs to struggle for a perpetual check to draw the game because black will have two knights, two rooks and a knight for a queen. But actually that might be a possibility. If white can just get rid of that f-pawn, and I don't know. Tough game for Andy. Kyron is defending like a monster here. All right, we're gonna go to. Did we ever figure out what happened with the chambers?
We fix it.
Oh, we fixed it. Okay. So we had this happen in this game, and I see white had to play rook c3 to defend bishops.
A friendly heads up. If that ever happens again, I will personally deal with it. And then you don't want me dealing with it.
I talked to him.
That's fine. If they ever touches me again in any manner, in any
White's the exchange
manner, I will
down.
deal with it.
Okay, I appreciate you telling me.
Yeah.
And for pawn, so black has the chances here. It's going to be difficult.
Obviously, it's not something that we're trying to.
Yeah,
That's okay with.
make sure he doesn't talk to me, tap me, touch me.
Can I talk to him?
Very a position fraught with danger for both sides.
Alright.
But I mean, if it happens again,
I'll deal with it.
tell me about it, and then
No.
I'll have him do some.
This is, no, okay.
Okay, okay, Eric, if you want to deal with it, you deal with it then.
Okay.
I mean, whatever that means.
So rook check, king f2, e3 check. Black can threaten mate with, something like h4 here.
This, and then I was like standing.
And if rook e1 then threatens rook e1 check, king f2, e3 mate is a possibility. They might even try that. Otherwise, white's gonna maybe try to queen a pawn, which would be too bad. All right, let's move on to, that's board 2, coming to a dramatic finish here. This is a game that we thought white was in trouble earlier. Let's go back here. Boom, 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 boom. Queen e4. Okay. I see. If queen takes c4, rook over, one of the rooks over to c1 and takes on c7. All right, knight c5. Queen h4 threatens the rook at d8. Rook d1, queen e2, queen d4, holding the knight b6. Okay, that threatens rook d8. So, but queen and I see. White couldn't take on c7 because of rook d8 and mate on d1. or check on d1. So white is, and that can't be good. That just weakens more squares. I think white is in trouble here. White's trying desperately to attack. And it's into the tactical phase. Difficult still for white. I'm not sure that black has played this correctly, but it's still a tough position for white. Okay, we'll move on. Ivanov and Shaw, this game we left it here, and white attacked the pawn at b6, and then now the bishop and queen are on the diagonal, h3, queen b7. There's a kind of an odd symmetry going on here. Just playing over the moves. Ooh. Does that work? Or is that just blundering a piece? Hold on, what am I missing here? I see queen e6 check and queen takes c8. So knight a7 is a shot. And now bishop takes e4. White's definitely on top here. He's probably trying to find something better like queen b8 and rook d8 or something like that. But he takes on e4. This is just simply white. White is much better here. He's won a pawn. Yeah. Unfortunate for Tenzing's having a rough tournament here. But see, this game was white's finally trying to get something going with f4, but this is actually the way white should be playing this. Black is going into a defensive crouch here. Why not put the knight on e5? I'm not sure exactly what's going on here with this game either. It looks like black is playing all the wrong moves. Interesting. Maybe he wants to play d5. d5 here. Black needs to do something quickly. d5. The threat is bishop g5, winning the black queen. So d5 looks like it would explode the position right when it needs to happen. King g8. And that might be a good move. Bishop g5, now hg5. Very interesting. d5 is a move black wants to play here. Stagnating. All right, let's move on to Michael Walder. I'm not sure exactly. He took here, he did trade the queen for the two bishops, but now he's given up one of the bishops. Maybe he had to.
Be our witness.
Let's see. If rook b3, rook aa, king f7, knight e5 check is of course probably crushing, and then knight c6 check. Okay. Rook b3, rook aa, king f7, knight e5, king f6, walking straight into a discovered, knight c6 check, rook b2, knight e7, king e7. Black would have definite compensation for the exchange, but why do that? Knight c5. White gives up the bishop for as dearly as possible, but White's down a queen for a bishop, queen for a rook and a bishop. Black must have a win here or be close to winning. Wow. Okay. Let's move on. The rest of the games, let's go back up to board one. This was extremely exciting. Rook d7, queen f5, rook d5, attacking the queen. Black finally got rid of that pawn. Check, king g8, rook d1, rook e2, attacking c2. This is looking very bad for white now. Kyron is on the counterattack here. I think we're seeing Andy Lee having shot his bolts, and rook e2 is looking incredibly strong. And Kyron Griffith is on his way to winning this game and the tournament, I think. Why not queen takes something here? Well, you can't play queen b4. Yeah, white has to trade queens. And now black is, it's going to be questionable whether white can survive this. Yeah, if queen takes e2, rook e8 check, he can go king h7 probably, and if rook check, knight g7. So there was no hope in that. White's going to be very lucky to hold on to a draw here. I think this is lost. Probably close, very close to loss. And the time situation is not helping either. So I think I'm going to call Griffith the winner of the tournament if he can pull this out. Here's Winslow Chambers. This was really interesting. A6. So he checked here first, and then put the pawn in, and now plays rook d2. Elliott's going to make a queen, and Chambers stops it. Rook c1 threatens the rook, and now if rook a7, knight c8 check. This is an incredible resource. This is like almost unbelievable how Elliott is pulling this out. Is this just a winning move, rook c1? An amazing move. Is it possible that after a7, black should maybe play rook c2? Rook c2, queen, and then rook g1 or something like that. Then queen. I mean, it's very possible white will come in very quickly with a mating attack. Queen b7, king d8, queen c8, king e7, queen c7, and then if black, well then knight d7. Rook c1 is just an incredible move by Elliott. Rook c1, but now this is an inferior version. Oh, this is like the same version. Okay. So white's going to make a queen, and then black is going to play rook g1 or maybe e2. Maybe e2 is right here. But white. All right, so very, very unclear, at least to me. White must feel good about getting that queen on the board, though. Yeah, an amazing find by Elliott here. Absolutely. I mean, white should have at least a draw here, if not a win, I would say. Yeah, I think white is probably winning here. I mean, it's E2. It depends. If queen b7 check, knight d7. It's maybe not that clear. E2. I mean, white might have to give the bishop up for. Well, what's the queen b7, knight d7? I'm not sure what's going to happen here. If then queen e4 check, king f8. Bishop e2, then black has knight b6. Still, it does look winning. It does look like white should have the upper hand here. As was going to spend a lot of time on this move here, either rook g1 or e2. I'd be tempted to play rook g1 just to, but both moves need to be looked at. All right, fantastic game on board 2. Here's Sodakova struggling here in this position, I think, with white against Russell Wong. Ooh, and that's a very strong move. Although the pawn at h6 is hanging. This is a tough position for white. Definitely worse. Okay. This is Ivanov Shah, which saw white win a pawn back here, and then black is definitely just worse. Rook b3, rook f8. Not much hope of counterplay with this. e5. I mean, let's go back to here. I don't like playing f4 for white here, which opens up, but still, this must be close to a win for white here. Queen endgame would probably be a win for white. We can see the clock position here. So if queen b2, for example, rook a8, I think that should be a winning queen ending. I don't think at queen c3 check, the white king can just simply hide. I think king g2, queen d2, king h3. Oh, maybe queen d7 check, then f5. Something's got to give here. I think this is winning for white. All right, I'm going to call it a win for white. Let's look at this game. Wow. Okay. White played. Okay, so let's hear. King g8, g4. White's going for it. d5, g5. Bishop, queen c6. I guess black could have tried dc4 or something else, but then was afraid. Knight e5. White's just pouring pieces on. Will he be able to land a knockout blow? This is a crazy game. How'd you do, Richard?
I finally won.
Congratulations.
He designed to move 101.
101 move game.
Yeah, because he was going to queen the pawn. And
wow, that's fantastic.
I had a one game with like 7 pawns against 3. And I screwed it up, and he was almost there to queen and 8 pawn. And then it was 2 bishops against the rook, and I had 2 pawns against 1.
Okay.
And I was waiting for 50 moves. But then I started moving the pawn right at the end there.
That's over there, Richard Hack. Okay, Richard. Thanks, Richard. Okay. All right, we'll see you soon, Richard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I've got 2 sheets. Or you want me to fill out the top of the second one?
There's a place outside to leave them, right? Yeah. The more information we can get, the better. All right, for Nick and Elliot, thanks. Okay, this is you know, White would like to play Queen H4 here. Okay, and that's what he's trying to do. Knight F5, EF5, Queen E5, Queen H4. Knight F5, EF5, Queen E5, Queen E5, Rook E5, Bishop D8 is good enough too for White. Black seems to have really gotten himself into a pickle here, and you gotta hand it to Michael Lin for, you know, this is a desperate attack. Yeah, White's starting Rook H8 and Knight F7, but just Queen H4 is a huge threat here. This is trouble for Black. Yeah, trouble for Black. Amazing. But White finally made the desperate attack he was supposed to make, and if that makes sense.
I was dead lost.
What happened in your game?
I won.
You won?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Ezra, let's take a look at it.
Like revenge for the first time we played. I was completely winning and he won. So.
All right, let me just quickly go here. Walter is losing this game to.
Oh yeah, this guy's kind of strong. This guy, Sento Kumar, he's tricky.
Yeah. This is not going. Well, okay, Ezra, you snatched.
I pulled a miracle out of some.
You're gonna find your name here.
Yeah, I didn't think the endgame was that bad for me, but now I think it was pretty awful.
Okay, Ezra.
I thought I might even. I even offered to draw.
I want to see. Well, let's see your game. Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I got a good position from the opening. I played.
You got a great position.
Yeah, Queen D2 is a mistake. I think.
Let's see.
So I prepared E6 against instead of E5 against Chiron Griffith.
Okay.
But I looked at E5 more recently, so.
So how did you finish in the tournament? Third? Well, it depends on how the top board's going, right? But it looks to me like Chiron was winning.
Oh, Chiron was winning. Wow.
Didn't you think so? I don't.
I didn't.
Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look.
It was really tricky.
Let's take a look at it right here.
Oh, they went to an endgame. Okay, I didn't see this.
T5. Okay, that's
Chiron looks doing pretty well for sure. Yeah, he's got to be winning this. Come on. No, it's just a piece. No.
That helped White a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
That helped White a heck of a lot.
But look at these pawns on, for White on B3 and B2.
Why does the under 1600 say?
Well, what? Why didn't you go? Why didn't you go like 94? Why do you go?
What's going on here? Why does it only have 4 rounds?
Don't talk to me about that. That are you looking? Don't play with the Swisses before.
Well, someone already did. It only has 4 rounds.
Elliot, don't talk to me about it right now.
Oh, it was really crazy.
Nice let's just look at this for a second here.
Okay, so why isn't Black just completely winning? Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Black is.
Knight C1 takes B3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting even worse.
You know, it's just lost. I think. The king goes to B5 and then. Yeah. Even mating ideas if the king's on A4, rook C1.
Yeah. This is this is loss, and Chiron Griffith is about to win the tournament. Okay, on his own, and you will overtake Andy Lee, right? He has 5.5. What'd you?
I didn't check the points.
How many points you finish with?
Yeah,
I don't.
6.
I don't know. Oh, 6. Okay. I wasn't
so
checking the points.
So you'll take clear second. You'll take clear second.
Wasn't preparing much.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
In any case.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I got it pretty good. I was surprised he played Bishop E2 because this is my main weapon against the Knight Orc. So Queen D2 I think is a mistake. I think it's Queen D3 or short castles. Because if you try to castle long, you get an English attack, and Bishop E2 is kind of a waste of a move. think it doesn't belong on E2. And maybe B5 is better, but instead of knight B7. But I wasn't so sure about A4, so on B5 here. I probably should have just like after B5 F3 just castled or something. Like why am I?
This was completely fine for you.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
A4
instead
is
of
a
A.
mistake.
Well, I'm not sure what he has to do something like B5 is coming. Like maybe Bishop B5 was interesting, but I didn't think so. I didn't believe in it.
Yeah, there's something went wrong with whites.
Even here, maybe D5 for black. I'm not sure. But it doesn't look like it should work, right? Because black's king's in the center and
I don't know. I mean, this.
That's the only reason I didn't really play it. Yeah, this is the critical move. Otherwise, I just play D5 and I'm just a lot better. So, yeah, Bishop A2 is interesting.
That was an interesting move.
I think because his rook is weird and like.
Right, and
I can always trade the dark sword bishops. I think.
Yeah. I think you have at least equality here.
Yeah, I thought ED was a mistake. I think he had to like sacrifice the E pawn. But I'm not sure how.
Well, you can, yeah.
Because like, I think he needs his dark sword bishop.
H1.
Yeah, so something like that.
Indicated a long time ago, maybe, but we'll see.
Because here, like, yeah, I'm not sure about this move B3. Maybe Rook D8 was better, but there was Rook D8, B3, and Knight E3.
You're already fighting for the initiative here. You could cancel, right, or play.
Well, Rook D8 is another interesting move because Bishop D3, then B3, and then Knight B4 it is. But like, I think he goes Queen C1 and hangs on. But I mean, black's better, I think, but
yeah. Well,
I thought this was trying to win right away, and I didn't think, I didn't evaluate the end game at all correctly. I thought black was slightly better, but
yeah, this is.
I don't think so. I think white is slightly better because there's not many open files.
I don't think white's better here.
Really? I didn't think so during the game, but then it got really unpleasant really fast.
Yeah. I'm not sure. You'll have to really put this one under the microscope.
I'm gonna have to really start learning endgames better. Also,
this position.
Because he goes A5 and like.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
There's only one open file.
My gut says black should.
Yeah,
be better
exactly.
here.
That's what I was.
But maybe this is not so clear.
Yeah.
And actually,
I prefer to draw here after King D7 because I thought he would just take it and like okay.
Right.
I thought Knight C4 instead of.
Draw, I reconsidered.
Oh really? Oh, I thought Knight C4 instead of Bishop C4.
Yeah, those are both worth looking at.
Yeah.
But you can't blame white for trying this setup.
The reason H5 is to stop G4. Yeah, so here I try to, I think it's pretty logical, but on the other hand so here I'm pretty borderline lost.
Right. Man, you guys are going to have to look at this.
He's low on time here though. He has 7 minutes, so I'm trying to throw like, I'm trying to play the Stearman way. You know, pull a miracle out of a hat.
H4 threading E3 may.
Yeah, but I thought FE4.
Right. Yeah. You're gonna have to look at this again.
No, but this doesn't work. Like, I thought I just missed that Knight C8 check would win the Rook.
Right. Beautiful move.
I saw Rook C1, really but I thought Rook A7,
so
but Knight C8 wins the Rook.
Could you try Rook G1 here instead of E2?
No, I don't think I'm in time because the king runs to F4 ever, but he just goes.
So you played Rook G7?
Yeah, E2 is a little trick because E1 queen.
So did he blow it here?
Yeah.
What should he have played? Bishop E2?
Maybe Bishop E2, yeah.
Instead of taking back on E6, so
maybe Bishop E2.
But if you just trade and play Rook, then
it's just a trick, you know.
So Bishop E2, it's still unclear.
No, I think White's pretty close to winning because my king is so
then you have actual
just like.
Yeah, but you've got Rook. You got threats on G2 that are going to be really.
It's not.
I don't think White's.
You don't think so? I don't know. His pieces look more coordinated than mine.
Yeah, but if you can play Rook C2 and Rook take G2 check.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Or Rook G1.
So I guess it's who's in time, who's faster.
Yeah. So Rook D7 is a nice shot. Very nice shot.
Yeah. And then you resign. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just taken on D2 and played Bishop E2.
Or terribly played game, but you know, managed to.
Yeah.
You won. Congratulations.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah.
Survived.
Yeah, you threw the kitchen sink at it.
I think I was in a lot of trouble.
Kyron,
Did you guys find the winning one?
Do you guys want to sit down and look at the game? We'd appreciate it.
All right.
And I can take a little break here. Maybe we can, Kyron and Andy, congratulations. Let me take my name off of here and see if I can put. I don't know if there's a way to. I'm going to let Juan do it. And you get congratulations, Kyron.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I think Ezra got for a second.
I might know how to do it, and then I get rid of.
You guys should,
I'm brave enough to play the Steven you go again.
Yeah.
There's Kyron, and then I get rid of.
Well, yeah, I mean.
No, it's really
I'll take a picture of you and Capablanca together.
There we go. Okay.
Except I had it on selfie.
And then how do we get back to a board transition? Okay.
Kyron Griffin and Jose Rao.
And then DGT boards. Right click?
Correct. How about you?
Oh, right. Okay. Got it.
First and second place.
All right. Kyron, you want to look at this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's that coming in?
Oh, yeah.
Turn this
Yeah, all right. So I decided sort of spur of the moment
Let's go Sozin.
to play at Sozin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't really know what to do about this line in my spur of the moment thinking.
I mean, I think this is a line. I actually don't
No, this
know.
line I think is the most irritating.
The G4 one?
No, well,
yeah, 97 is definitely the most irritating.
Yeah.
For
right, I was having trouble finding ways to press effectively, and then my daughter woke up from her nap an hour early, and I was like, well, guess I'm playing G4 here.
Yeah.
But it's sort of a bluff.
Yeah, because knight c5, and it's like if you play g5, I'm just gonna take you4.
Sure, yeah. So I have to play like Queen E2.
Right.
F3, I guess, could be played, but it seems kind of slow. And
Yeah.
pointless.
You thought a lot after h6, so were you not expecting that?
Yeah, that was the move I didn't expect because the lines I was looking at, you can play b5 here.
Oh wow.
Believe it or not. Yeah, and then I played g5, knight fd7, and then
Yeah, 4.
yeah, or I can even play knight d5, but it's all sort of a bluff. If you take, I play knight c6, you put your queen on b6, I take back, you play knight e5, I play f4. I don't know. It's crazy, yeah, but it doesn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play into that if I'm not confident.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and so after b5, I mean, I can just play g5 and something else. I don't know, but after h6, I thought.
Yeah, you get one of these structures where, like, you never get to take back on g5 with the pawn.
Right.
Which is, I guess, a little win for me. And
right,
I'm not getting attacked immediately.
Right, because if I play rook g1 here, you play knight h7, right?
Rook g1, I actually... Maybe. I was even considering, like, I could take b3 and play d5 immediately. And
Sure,
just,
yeah.
like, be like, what are you doing over there?
Right. No, that's reasonable. Okay. So yeah, so I need to play g5 at some point in here, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So this seems natural.
Yeah. So I think my knight belongs on h5.
Knight, yep. Right, and then...
Yeah, this queen d2 move is actually pretty annoying.
Yeah, I had trouble, like, deciding exactly what to do here. Because I didn't anticipate knight h5 for some reason.
Yeah, because I think if you take the bishop, you're just worse.
Right, I sort of wanted to play bishop e3 and just toss this h4 pawn to you.
But I also don't have to take it immediately.
Exactly,
You
right.
Just, like, bishop d7 and...
Right. Yeah.
Consolidate.
So it seemed useful to keep these dark squares, right? No matter what. Castles. I was very happy about finally getting in. Okay, so...
Yeah, this rook e1, I saw the whole idea as knight d5, and I was like... I just, like, did not believe it at all.
Yeah.
But it was much harder to defend than I had.
Yeah, it's funny. I missed just this trade of bishops on g5.
Oh, wow. But
earlier, yeah. I thought, well, if worse comes to worse, right, I'm playing knight d1
Oh,
in
yeah,
a sort of crummy position.
That would have been, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're really happy there, right?
You play knight d1.
Yeah, so it seemed like something like this was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in this position...
Yeah, you don't have to take, but I'm not sure if there's really anything better.
I looked at knight f5 for a while, but I think you just play king to f8.
Yeah.
I think if you take the knight, there's trouble.
Yeah, there might be trouble there. But yeah, I play king f8 and then how you getting d5 back.
yeah, it's just not. I mean, I can take on d6, but there's no real point in that. Yeah, so this seemed good, especially after I saw 96.
96 is. Yeah, I missed this when I was when I played b4.
Yeah, I initially thought I was gonna have to play f4 here or something, right? And
yeah, but I think it's just like I don't know. I don't think I have many.
This seems much more dangerous, yeah. Because if you take, you're just busted, right? I mean, you've got to play. Like, what else are you gonna do here?
Yeah, I wonder what the right way to deal with this was. Like, because I have so many ways I can do this. Like,
right.
I can go like f takes and like queen e7 and like make you take and I'll take on d7. But then
that's true.
I'm worried about like you playing g6 there and stuff, and the king's kind of open.
Right, g6. Then I'm even threatening queen f4 check.
Yeah. Sometimes you some stupid queen f4. Sometimes.
Right. There's all sorts of weird stuff here. I don't know if it's completely good. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't looked at that.
Yeah, I was looking at a lot of different stuff here. Like,
although after f takes, d takes, queen e7, can I play queen f4 check right away?
I think I just move.
You just go to g8?
Yeah. I think that helps me actually, because now I'm winning your queen.
Right, and now I'm not taking on...
Yeah, I mean, you have to play like queen g4 and I'll lose a piece. Well, then I have like bishop e8 and maybe you're just losing.
Right. And then I play g6, you play knight f6, okay, yeah. So maybe not. Alright, so maybe that was a better try. Because I thought this was really rough.
Yeah, this didn't hold on very well. The e6 pawn is just very strong.
Right, and f4 seemed natural. I thought about also... What else did I think about here?
Yeah, I think you're better after f4.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that any move is better than f4 here. It seems like it meets a lot of the needs of the position.
So you need to play g6, but you just play queen d4 and I lose. So.
Right, exactly. Right, so you have to play here first. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take, I'm not sure what I was going to do.
You can't just trade on e1?
Takes, rook takes, king f7, queen d5 check. I think I'm pretty sure I'm getting made.
Are you getting made in that one?
Like,
you just play your king back to f8? Oh, and then I play queen f5.
And then you play pawn
I play g6.
Pawn g6, and it's just like...
And then if you play queen f6, I have queen a8 check.
Yeah.
That is ugly. Okay. Yeah, I didn't take that
hits.
very seriously for some reason. I thought that actually helped you defend, but...
No, I was really worried after taking on f7.
Right, because if you take back the rook, I play g6. You can't even take on f4.
Yeah, I play like rook f5, but then...
right.
Like, you might even...
White miss a chance here?
I think EF was strong.
Yeah.
I think f5 was...
So after rook f5, what do I do here, though? It's not entirely clear.
Okay, so EF, rook takes, g6,
rook f5.
Well, you can take on b4, probably, for starters.
Sure. I guess there's these continuing threats in this position, but it's not... I don't know.
You have to play rook e6 immediately.
You just can't move anything.
The irresistible force versus the immovable object.
Yeah.
You know, when I was watching this game.
Yeah, this was a really critical point in the game to try to figure out how to break through.
I think rook a7, rook e7 was
good, very interesting resource.
I don't think it was good though.
Really?
I think it loses.
What do you think was better?
I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to imagine what else you were going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. But
okay,
I felt like I was losing here.
So it's interesting to look at e takes f7. So I thought f5 seemed natural, and of course you've got to take.
Yeah, take, and then maybe f6 is the only.
F6 is interesting, with the idea that if you trade on f6 and then if you play rook f7, I can play rook e6, and if you play rook f6, I play queen g6. And I looked at this long one.
Queen g5.
Queen g5, sorry, and then rook g8.
Wait a minute, queen g5, rook f1 check.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, rook takes f1 check.
Oh, rook f1 with check.
And mate. Yeah. Okay, so rook g8, queen h5. This is the line I looked at. Rook f6. And then, wait, am I insane?
G8, queen... Wait, sorry, rook g8, queen h5? Wait.
Oh, no, I don't click. Hold on. There was some crazy line here that I looked at that I eventually rejected because I found a way out for you.
6 takes, rook f7, rook f6.
Rook f6, queen g5, and then if rook g8, then what was the idea here? I thought I had some interesting cheese. Oh yeah. So queen h5, rook takes e6, queen f5,
Then I just queen f6, right?
Oh, you're queen f6. Oh, in total. No, then.
Or rook f6, right?
If queen f6 would rook c. Anyway, maybe this is all nonsense.
Yeah.
Possible. I thought I had some line here.
If I can just take f6, I'm fine.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you also had rook to h7, and so I eventually just settled on this, and then you played king g8.
I think g6 was what I was worried about.
G6 is definitely the critical try.
G6, yeah, I think maybe rook h6 is what I can play.
Sure.
And then what if you just like defend?
Can I just
it's weird because like you have to defend your pawns, but
right? Can I just play queen g5 there?
Yeah, queen g5. I guess I have to.
Anymore.
I guess. Yeah, you don't have knight f6 there, right? Because I just trade and.
No, I mean I do know.
Yeah, queen g5 is a problem.
Isn't queen g5 close to winning? Then you have queen e8 maybe. Although in that position I can just take my knight back.
But can't you just take the knight on h5 quicker?
Right, yeah. So queen e8 doesn't work.
Yeah, okay.
So I think you're just losing.
Okay,
right?
g6 I can't play rook h6.
Right, because of queen g5. Huh. So queen e8 is the other idea. That's what I expected you to do.
And then don't you just take d6? And then just like pawns down and
yeah,
move?
It's true. For some reason I thought you could play knight f6 in one of these positions.
Yeah, maybe g6. I could try and.
Well, I thought after queen e8 even maybe, but or maybe now you could.
Yeah,
do it.
maybe immediately and just.
Right, and just hang on. It seemed right to keep your knight over on h5 as long as possible, but it
once
didn't
I play
work
g6,
out.
then my knight's going to die.
Well, maybe. I sort of thought that I had enough time to do this, but apparently it wasn't quite true. Yeah, okay, so
why should you play g6 here?
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm not totally convinced that it's right to allow the knight back in on f6 though.
Yeah, okay, maybe knight f6.
But then you might be able to generate some play on the h
I
file.
might, but the knight on f6 is going to stop the mate. Oh, it's
No,
true.
no,
There's
yeah,
going to be a
just
mate.
take it, check.
Oh, you're right. And then queen
Triple,
h2, rook
double,
h1. Yeah,
yeah.
you're completely right. Okay, so knight f6 isn't ever possible. Oh, so this is really bad.
Well, black could play queen e8 maybe.
Sure.
Then queen g5.
Queen e8, queen g5 with the same set of problems, because if knight f6 we're still going to trade, play rook h1,
and queen
h4. Yeah.
And that's
made. Okay, so this was the way to go. G6 for sure. That is too bad.
Maybe rook h6 then, or
we looked at that. It's
we think
queen g5.
Queen g5 anyway.
Seems
so, and
killer.
queen e8, queen g5, rook e6.
Queen e8. Oh, queen e8, queen g5, rook e6.
Queen
That's
d5.
Probably right.
Queen d5. No.
Yeah, well, knight f4.
Yeah, knight f4.
Maybe surviving.
Yeah.
G6. Oh, so yeah, I guess G6. Queen e8. But I was worried about queen d6 there. Like. Just,
right. Queen d6 is also possible.
Just like.
Position.
Oh, so G6,
Queen e8,
queen d6.
Queen d6 is also
maybe then I play knight s. Am I still getting mated?
You're still getting mated.
So
trade rooks, queen h2, and then rook h1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof. Yeah. Okay, that was the line. Because this looked good at the time. I thought I was just switching back to the other side with all your pieces misplaced on the wrong side of your
You're
king.
just giving me too much time.
Right. You're a tempo away from dying, but.
Yeah, I felt like after g6 it was just turning quick.
Can I play queen d3 here?
No. I have to remember why. Rook e6.
Rook e6?
Oh, no. I actually get mated. I can't play rook e6.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to play rook e6.
Right.
But I don't think I can.
Do you just play rook g7? No, that doesn't work. Aren't you in trouble still here?
Don't think so, but I have to remember what. Queen d3. Am I in trouble?
I don't know.
It's a sad rook e6 didn't work.
Right. Yeah, queen d3. I mean, you can play king g7 to defend the pawn. And then I can check on d4 though. And it feels like you're really going to be in trouble in that position.
Yeah.
Although maybe the best I have is just to draw. No.
Shoot, I thought I had something here, but
Yeah.
now I'm wondering if I'm hallucinating.
Yeah, I wonder why I didn't play this move here. Did I really think rook g7 was strong? Because it's not. Yeah, that's weird.
Wait, what? Rook G7, you just play E7?
Yeah, don't I?
Check. Rook G7. Can I get away with just Rook G7? Take G6, Knight G7.
Okay. Yeah, I mean maybe.
Oh yeah. Then you take H8, Rook H1, King
Right.
H7, King F7.
Yeah, and I take on D8 at the end.
Oh yeah.
I'm winning your queen. Yeah.
Wait. No. King. I play King F7, not King F8.
Okay.
It's something is happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I
on.
briefly remembered.
Are you escaping?
Looking at this, but I don't. I think I concluded.
Wait, so what is this line? So Queen D3.
Yeah. Rook
And then
E6.
what? Oh, do you have Queen?
no,
do you have Queen E8 here after Queen D3? Is that the problem?
Can you just take D6 again?
I guess so. Yeah. But maybe this
maybe that's it. Queen E8, Queen D3, take D6.
Yeah, that might be why I rejected it.
Or something.
Yeah.
Or even Knight G7 and
Right.
just like go get this pawn.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it made sense at least. I was tempted also to take on B4 and then come back. Like gives you even more time.
They took almost every chess book we had out there.
All right. So
It's
yeah.
incredible.
I just missed this idea. I think.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like you get Rook D7, but like.
Right, but
I'm
you get
just
everything else.
consolidating here.
Yeah.
And
Should you have played Queen F5 first here?
I'm
just wondering in this position if I should. I guess I should probably play Rook D5,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. D5, Queen D6.
Right.
But then you can't play Rook D7, can you? Or maybe you can. I guess you can.
Yeah, I can.
But my queen's hitting E6, so I can play Knight G7 and then.
Right. For sure. Yeah, I have to find some other way to make progress, and I'm not sure there is one. I can play Rook D5, Queen B6, Rook D6, maybe.
Queen C5, Rook D5. Actually, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Queen C5, Rook D5, and Queen C7.
Yeah. Right. At some point, I can force you back to C7. But there might not be much there at that point. I mean, I can obviously play a lot better than I did from this point onward.
Yeah, but I feel like
the worst is sort of over at this point. You're right. Yeah,
definitely over.
Should have played G6 and just forced some sort of mate.
Yeah,
it's clearly the way to go. Yeah, because you can't coordinate anything over here. I just sort of missed that when I have the pawns on E6 and G6, you can only take one of them, and so I'm always mating on H8 at the end. Right?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean, because when I played King G8, I was wondering if I should play G6 first, but then like
Right.
Queen D3 is like even maybe scarier there.
Right.
Then maybe King G8 was a losing blunder. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending time breaking us down.
Okay, I am Paul Whitehead.
Yeah, I'm still in the dark. My computer's saying something what I should have done.
Congratulations.
What's the next one? Like
August 6th. Okay. And then 9 round.
Cool.
See you guys.
Okay, folks, anybody still watching? I am FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, and the Tuesday night marathon is over. First place went to Kyron Griffith. Second place, clear second, went to Ezra Chambers. And Daniel, it's not a 9-rounder. The next one is a 9-rounder. And third place went to it's chopped off at the end.
It is chopped, yeah.
So who was third place?
Well, it's in order.
Right.
So it's Andy Lee and Kevin Kuchek.
And Kevin Kuchek.
Those two.
Wow.
Those two.
Kevin, great great tournament for Kevin Kuchek. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we should get if we could get the...
No, yeah, we'll get
Yeah. All right. Folks, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll be back with round 1 of the Steve Brandon. Right. Alexander Ivanov lost to Tenzing Shaw. Shocking loss. He was winning and got mated. And so that's the end of that. The end of the Tuesday night marathon. It's over until the Steve Brandywine Memorial in Tuesday night marathon starting August 6th. And so we'll let you go, let everybody go. Let's see, I'm going to try to find our transition out. Live from the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. And you can see that we're packing it up here, folks. And good night from the chess room. And you can see it's all over. Good night, everybody.